sequence starts. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
We know what it takes to achieve a dream. Dedication, courage, determination, control, desire. And our goal is to channel that energy. To champion the nation's best aquatic athletes, support the teams who support them, inspire anyone and everyone to feel the benefits of a love of water, and propel each sport onwards and upwards, or even downwards, by doing it the right way, sustainably, with integrity, with purpose. Because the thrill of seeing Great Britain being great at aquatic sport is something everyone can get excited about. We are Aquatics GB.
Good morning, welcome back to Pondsforge International Sports Centre for the third day of the Speedo Aquatics GB Summer Championships. Session 5, fifth session of the week, is coming up then this morning, and this will be the heats for the first 6 events you can see there. That's men's 200 metres butterfly, women's 100 metres backstroke, men's 100 metres backstroke, women's 100 breast, men's 50 breast and women's 200 metres individual medley. And then the men's 800 metres freestyle will be slightly later after a break in the session, when there will be a warm-up for those men's 800 metre freestyle swimmers. Our first event this morning will be the men's 200 metres butterfly. And as I like to remind you, this event is a great opportunity to celebrate everything that's been achieved over the last year's work by these swimmers. It's great to have so much support here at Pondsforge in the stands. None of the swimmers' achievements would be possible without the support of their families, of course. It's families, it's coaches, it's officials, everybody who goes into helping the swimmers achieve what they do in the pool. The swimmers get the chance to show their appreciation as well. Certainly everybody involved in swimming does. The officials, as you see, making their way to their positions then for the starts of this session. So if you're joining in for the first time this morning, if you're tuning in for the first time, then let me tell you, the standard of competition in this event is really high. It's a really important mark in the development for swimmers. Swimming in July, this is when it really matters in the season. So everybody, swimmers and coaches, trying to get their best performances right at the end of the season. And then when it comes to the final sessions, if you join us for that later as well, you'll see we go up another notch and really try to inspire the swimmers in those finals to give their absolute best. And we saw some huge PBs in our first final session last night. So this, a real benchmark competition. And I can guarantee you we will see more brilliant performances in today's sessions. The heats will be good, and then the finals will be almost certainly even more impressive. So we're getting ready then for the men's 200 metres butterfly. There will be 13 heats to come. I'll just remind you of the way things are arranged. The swimmers swim right across their age groups against the swimmers who are closest to them in time. So we get some pretty close racing in the heats. And the first 10 in each age group will qualify for the final for their age group, which takes place in the evening. And when it comes to those age groups, the swimmers only swim in a race with their own age group swimmers. All of that will become apparent as we go along. And the final 3 heats in each of the morning events are circle seeded. So that means the fastest 3 swimmers are spread across those 3 heats, then the 4th, 5th and 6th fastest swimmers are spread across those heats, and 7, 8, 9, etc. And that means that, the fastest swimmers tend not to meet in the heats, but they do meet in the finals. So men's 200 metres butterfly, the first heat will feature 6 swimmers, and here they come. After the first heat, we will be using all 10 lanes, and all of these swimmers are in the 13-14 year age category. And according to their performances so far this year, they should swim pretty close to each other. I think the fastest time set by anyone in this heat was by Jake Battle in lane 4 this year in 2:24.6, and that's less than a second faster than Damien Frachek-Krigier's time of 2:25.6. So only a second spanning these swimmers in terms of their entry times for this event. I'll introduce the swimmers as we go along. This is heat 1. I'd like to give you the swimmers list starting from the top, and it's a good start at the top of our picture there for City of Southampton's Damien Frachek-Krigier. In the black hats, 1 lane lower is Kane Ashton for City of Manchester Aquatics. Then in second place at the moment in lane 5 is Henry Barker for Romsey and Totten. In 4, Jake Battle for Stowmarket. In 3, Lucas Christie for Kingston upon Hull. And in 2, Joshua Greeno for Maidenhead. And as you can see, Damien Frachek-Krigier is off to a great start. This is 4 lengths of the pool. There is room in this race for a race plan, so Damien going up very fast, but the gap could be closed as the race goes on. Having said that, Frachek-Krigier is looking very good at the moment. First of the turn then in 62.4, and our other 5 swimmers pretty close together, just over a second separating them. In second place at that turn was Henry Barker, and third Kane Ashton. So Damien Frachek-Krigier out in front. Now there are 10 places available in the final for 13 and 14 year olds. And we've got about 18, 14 year olds swimming in this race. So the way Damien is swimming here, he might be putting himself into contention for a place in the final. We'll have to keep an eye on his time and see whether more than 10 other swimmers in the age group can swim faster. Well, understandably, Frachek-Krigier is slowing up a little here, getting tired, and everybody else is getting closer to him. Kane Ashton, 1 lane below, in lane 6, coming through strongly. So too Henry Barker. And Kane Ashton is going to catch and overtake Frachek-Krigier. 3 swimmers going past him here. Kane Ashton touches first in 2:22.23. That sets the marker for the 13-14 age group, 2 minutes 22.33. So that will be a PB for him. Henry Barker in second, 2:22.55. That's a PB. Great performance. Lucas Christie, 2:23.66, also with a PB. And Damien Frashik-Trigger, that was a PB as well, as he led for most of that heat. On we go to heat number 2. And the swimmers here reading from the top are Aidan Anderson for Aberdeen Dolphins, William Oxley for City of Leicester, Archie Maguire, Northumberland and Durham Performance. Out in front at the moment in lane 6 is Samuel Andrews for Atlantis. In 5, Frederick Brown for Guildford City. In 4, Samuel Williams for Bolton Metro. In 3, Portsmouth North Sea's Makar Yakno, and it looks like Yakno will be first to the turn, 29.4. In lane 2 is Owen Carmody for City of Leeds. In 1, Maximus Divanis for Northumberland and Durham Performance. And at the bottom of our screen, swimming well at the moment, William Davis for Newquay Cormorants. So, out in front at the moment, Makar Yakno in the white cap for Portsmouth North Sea. Alongside him in lane 4, going well, Samuel Williams. And at the top of our picture as well, Aidan Anderson in the white cap. Both outside lanes swimming well. Yakno looks like he'll get to the wall first, marginally, from Williams. And then Davis, Andrews, Maguire. No, I missed Anderson at the turn. Anderson in 3rd place there, Aidan Anderson. Into the second half then of this heat, and Makar Yakno opening an advantage. We would probably expect 2 or 3 swimmers in this heat to qualify for the 13-14 years final. So the first 3 swimmers in this heat probably challenging for a place in the top 10 in this 13-14 age group, and we would then see them swim again later tonight. 1:42.07 at the turn for Yakno, and he's still looking strong. Who else has got a strong finish here over the last 50? Lane 5, Frederick Brown going well in 2nd place. In lane 8, 2 from the top of the picture, William Oxley, City of Leicester, also going well. He's in 2nd or 3rd at the moment. I think he might even be going a little stronger and coming through for 2nd. Remember, the first 3 in this heat, it all depends on what comes later in the heats, but the first 3 will be challenging for a place in the final, I would expect. Yakno looks like he will be in that final. 2:19.11, William Oxley 2:19.99, and Frederick Brown 2:20.48. 2:19.11, the winning time there for Makar Yakno. We have 8 swimmers still to come in the 13-14 age group. So I'd be pretty confident in saying Yakno and Oxley are through to the final. And Frederick Brown with 2:20.48 is a likely qualifier as well for the 13-14's final. On we go to heat 3. And the swimmers in heat 3 are split across 2 age groups. We've got 3 14-year-olds in here and 7 15-year-olds. From the top, Eben Cousin for Borough of Kirklees in lane 9. Daniel Payton for Northumberland and Durham Performance in 8. Lucas Irianya for Guildford City in 7. Leonardo Masserini is in lane 6. In 5, in the golden lanes, Martin Vermaat, Camden Swiss Cottage. First to the turn was Lucas Irianya. In lane 4, Bells Hill Sharks is Ethan Collins. In 3, Ashton Blake, Basildon and Phoenix. In lane 2, it's Jacob Bacon, City of Peterborough. In 1, James Kilpatrick from Carnegie. And in lane 0, from City of Peterborough, it's Patrick Novak. Going well then at the moment, Lucas Irianya. He's one of the 15-year-old swimmers in here. The 3 14-year-olds are in lane 5, Martin Vermaat. Lane 2, Jacob Bacon. And in lane 0, Patrick Novak. Of those 14-year-olds, first at the turn was Martin Vermaat in 4th place. So Irianya out in front with Ethan Collins in second place, and at the moment in third, Daniel Payton up in lane 8. And also at the bottom of our screen going well in lane 0, Patrick Novak, and in lane 2, Jacob Bacon. Iwianya will be first to the final turn. A glide into that turn from Collins in 4. And then it's Payton and Vermaat. Vermaat, remember, in the 13-14 category. This will be good enough for him to get into that final. Iwianya in the 15-year-old age group. And he'll be setting a marker for that age group, the way things are going. Look at lane 2, 3 from the bottom. Jacob Bacon finishing strongly as well. As they come to the wall, looks like Bacon might be first or second if he can catch Iwianya at the touch. It's Iwianya first, then Vermaat and Bacon. Payton and then Collins. Winning time there, 2:15.5 for Lucas Iwianya. And our fastest in the 13-14 category in that heat was Martin Vermaat in 2:15.99. So he will be in the final for his age group. Looking at the other 14-year-olds there, Jacob Bacon and Patrick Novak, they will both be in the 13-14 final this evening after those performances. Here comes heat 4. Once again, the swimmers across 2 age groups here. In lane 9 is Alfie Toms for Maxwell. In lane 8, James Biddick, Exeter City. In 7, Thomas Marshall, also from Exeter City. In 6, it's Samuel Hill, City of Leeds. In 5, Alfie Owen, Wigan Best. In 4, Robert Shipley for Middlesbrough. In 3, for Chesterfield, Alex Bates. In 2, for Ramsbottom, Owen Wilson. In 1, Adam Michael for Northumberland and Durham Performance. And in lane 0, Jude Gunner for St Felix School. First to the turn in lane 7 was Thomas Marshall in 28.4. The 3 14-year-olds in this heat, James Biddick, 2 lanes from the top. In lane 4, Robert Shipley in the white cap in the middle of the screen there. And also in lane 3, Alex Bates in the red cap, 4 lanes from the bottom. Strong first 100 here for Thomas Marshall. Reaching for that wall, 61.7. Strong first 100. Can he hold on to that speed with Samuel Hill in second and Owen Wilson in third at the turn? Wilson 3 from the bottom, going well now. Very, very tiring race, the 200 metres butterfly, of course. Some swimmers will lose their technique as they tie up. Marshall, though, 136.3, and a good strong turn from Marshall as well. Getting 3 dolphin kicks in underwater, and so too a good turn in lane 2 for Owen Wilson, 3 from the bottom. Really held on in the streamline position underwater there. So Thomas Marshall's going to win this heat, and then at the bottom of our picture, Owen Wilson is in third place right now, because in lane 5, Alfie Owen's coming through in the middle of the pool. Keep an eye on the clock then for Thomas Marshall. Really good swim this. 2:11.96. Who's going to get second place? It's Alfie Owen, 2:16.1, and Owen Wilson in third. James Biddick for Exeter in lane 8, finishing in 5th in the heat, 2:17.6. And that will be good enough for a place in the 13s and 14s final later on. 2:11.96, our fastest time so far set by Thomas Marshall. Our fastest 15-year-old so far. On we go to heat 5. The swimmers in heat 5 then. From the top of the screen, for Portsmouth North Sea, it's Byron Saul Tucker. In lane 8, George Henderson for Dulwich Dolphins. Out in front, Joshua Shepherd in the black cap for Thurrock. In 6, Cian Lee, City of Peterborough. In 5, Benjamin Ross, City of Salford in the yellow cap. Then in the white cap, Charlie King for Thanet. In 3, Jack Collins for City of Sheffield. In 2, Oscar Goldsmith, South Links. And in 1, Jack Hurry for Northampton. And 0, Will Hewitt, Middlesbrough. Leading us out then at the first turn, Joshua Shepherd, followed by George Henderson. That side of the pool seems to be encouraging swimmers to go out hard in the first 100. That seems to be the tactic over there. Henderson then, he is a 16-year-old swimmer, so the swimmers in this heat are across the 16s and the 15-year-olds age group. Shepherd turning in 61.4 and 62.2 for George Henderson. Our fastest 15-year-old there was Will Hewitt, 63.88, and Byron Saul Tucker also in the 15s category, turning in 4th place. So that's lane 0 and lane 9 going well. The two outside lanes 1 year younger than most of their competitors, and 3 from the bottom going strongly here in this third 50 is Oscar Goldsmith for South Links Competitive. He's really coming into the picture with a good strong third 50. Slightly tired looking turn there from Joshua Shepherd, and a really good turn from George Henderson that's put him in the lead. And keep an eye on the bottom on Oscar Goldsmith. He's in contention here to win this heat as well. So it looks like Joshua Shepherd is fighting back, and also at the top of the screen in lane 9, Byron Saul Tucker, the 15-year-old coming through. I think Oscar Goldsmith might win this heat though in lane 2, 3 from the bottom. He's in the lead as we get into the final 5. It's Goldsmith first, Tucker second, Shepherd third, and Henderson in 4th. So Oscar Goldsmith 2:14.59, not quite as quick as we saw in the previous heat, but the fastest 16-year-old swim we've seen so far, 2:14.59, and a 15-year-old swimmer there in 2:15.5, Byron Saul Tucker. Good swimming from both of those. Heat 6 then. In lane 9, Joseph Ashley for City of Liverpool. Lane 8 is Nikolai Sisnet, City of Glasgow, who is a 14-year-old swimmer and our second fastest 14-year-old entry. In lane 7, Benjamin Dale Wood for Thirsk White Horse. In 6, Jack Kears for Teddington. In 5, Edward Henwood for Wandsworth. And in 4, Joshua Burkill, Sutton and Cheam. I think Joshua Burkill will turn first. He does. Samuel Sutcliffe's in 3 for Ramsbottom, Ross Anderton for East Lothian in 2, Joseph Box for City of Birmingham in 1, and Matthew Scott for Newcastle Swim Team in lane 0. Joshua Burkill out in front, a 15-year-old in this event. And the 15-year-olds in lane 0, Matthew Scott, in lane 3, Samuel Sutcliffe, 4, Joshua Burkill, in 5, Edward Henwood, and in 6, Jack Kears. And they're all swimming for a place in the final here. They are ranked from 6th to 10th in their age group. So Joshua Burkill looking good for a place in the final right now in the 15-year-old competition. 3 from the top going well here is Benjamin Dale Woods, and then 4 from the bottom, Samuel Sutcliffe, and 3 from the bottom, Ross Anderton. At the turn then, it's Burkill from Sutcliffe and Dale Wood. Those 3 under 1 minute 37 at the turn, and now things can change. 4 from the bottom, Samuel Sutcliffe looking very good right now. Joshua Burkill holding on. You can see breathing every stroke and really working hard, Burkill. Is Sutcliffe going to overhaul him in the remaining metres? And also 4 from the top. Jack Kears going well into the last 5 metres. I think Jack Kears might come through here. It's all going to be on the touch. They're all reaching for the wall. Burkill, then Kears, and then Sutcliffe. 3 15-year-olds there in first, second and third. They will all qualify for the 15-year-old final later this evening. Joshua Burkill, our fastest 15-year-old so far then in these heats, with a time of 2:11.64. And Nikolai Sisnet there doing well. He'll be contending for the medals in the 14s age group. Here comes heat 7. And our swimmers in this heat are Joseph Pickering for Kingston upon Hull, Ralph Seraki for Mount Kelly, Michael Banks for Bromley, Colton Dorfeld for Millfield. In lane 5, Hayden Annan, Royal Tunbridge Wells Monson. In lane 4, Hugh Mason Williams for City of Birmingham. In 3, Oliver Smith for Middlesbrough. 2, Oscar Duval for Biddulph. In 1, Sam Smith for Skepton. And in lane 0, Oliver Crooks for Bolton Metro. First at the turn, Ralph Seraki, 28.33. It's worth mentioning that Colton Dorfeld in lane 6 is a 15-year-old swimmer. And 2 from the top going well right now, Ralph Seraki. So Seraki and Smith in lanes 8 and 1 will come to the wall in first and second. 3 swimmers under 61 at the turn. Joseph Pickering also there in 61.5. Now into the crucial third 50. Everybody needs to hold on to their speed here before they give their all in the final length of the pool. Seraki leading. Then it's close between Pickering at the top of your picture and then 2 from the bottom, Sam Smith. Seraki will turn first, reaching for that wall. Pickering and Smith, little to choose between them, less than 0.2 of a second. Big turn though for Sam Smith there. He got the dolphin kicked in underwater, so he had enough room in the lungs to hold on to his breath for a long spell there. And 3 from the top going well now. Michael Banks in this last 50 coming into contention. And don't rule out Hugh Mason Williams in lane 4. He's going well too. Seraki holding on. He might be caught in the final 5 here though by Banks or by Pickering. Seraki gets there 2:10.7. Banks in 2:11.1 and Pickering in 2:11.5. Now first 2 swimmers there in the 16-year-old age group. 2:10.7 for Ralph Seraki. And in the 15-year-old age group there, Colton Dorfeld in 6 with 2:13.61. That will be our fastest time so far for a 15-year-old. Here comes heat number 8. And our swimmers in this heat are Luke Brussels for City of Manchester Aquatics, Logan van der Meulen for Stirling, in 7 Jack Bignell, Northampton, in 6 for Leicester Sharks, Sammy Prissot, in 5 for Barnet Cocktail, Yassin Selmani, in 4 for Leamington Spa, Charlie Rounce, in 3 for Flitwick Dolphins, Harrison Shaw, in 2 Isaac Thompson for Tigers of Jersey, and it's Rounce who turns first. In lane 1 is Yassin Kamel, Swansea University, and in 0 Jensen Owen, City of Sheffield Swim Squad. Lane 4 out in front, Charlie Rounce at the moment being challenged by Harrison Shaw for Flitwick, and in lane 5 in the yellow cap in the golden lanes is Yasin Selmani, and another yellow cap, 3 from the bottom of your picture. Isaac Thompson for Tigers, going well. Those 4 will be the first 4 to the wall at halfway. Selmani just getting the touch ahead of Rounce there. Selmani in the 16-year-old category, and Rounce in the 17-year-old category. In lane 0 and 1 at the bottom of your picture, worth mentioning 2 15-year-olds here, Yasin Kamel and Jensen Owen, and the way they're going, they will both be qualifying for the final, and in fact they are both real medal contenders in their age groups when it comes to the final tonight. Thompson first to the turn, Isaac Thompson in 2, and he's pulling away now into the final 50. Very good this, holding on to that technique. Charlie Rounce in second, and then in third at the moment it's Yasin Selmani. The fastest 16-year-old time we've seen so far, 2 minutes 10. That is what Isaac Thompson is trying to beat. He's going to come in first here, so keep an eye on the clock. He will be under 2:10. 2:09.1. Then Charlie Rounce with a 2:10.3, and Yasin Kamel 2:10.8. Yasin will be the fastest 15-year-old so far, with that 2:10.8 finishing in third place in the heat. And Isaac Thompson with our fastest 16-year-old time so far, 2:09.18. On we go to heat number 9. And our swimmers in this heat: in lane 9, Raheel Mahmood for Romford Town. In 8, Oliver Smith for Basingstoke Bluefins. In 7, James Boddy for Garriock. In 6, Ryan Hardy for Mount Kelly. In 5, for Nofio Gwyneth, it's Dion Edwards. In 4, Dante Sinnott for Barnet Copthall. In 3, for Soundwell, Harry Taylor. And 2, for Oscar Bellinger, Plymouth Leander's swimmer. First to the turn here in lane 5, Dion Edwards. In lane 1, I haven't introduced you yet to Henry Norman for Bromley, and in lane 0, Callum Sinclair for Swim West Lothian. So Dion Edwards out in front here. Most of the swimmers in this heat are 17-year-olds. We have 2 16-year-olds in lane 6, Ryan Hardy, and in 2, Oscar Bellinger. I would expect Hardy in 6 and Bellinger in 2 to qualify for the final in their age group, and there's probably one place in this heat for the fastest 17-year-old to qualify for the 17s final. Look at Raheel Mahmood on the outside lane, top of the picture, yellow cap, surging through now. It's Mahmood and Edwards out in front. Mahmood at the top of your picture and Edwards in the golden lane. And also going well in lane 3 now, Harry Taylor. He's going to be third at this turn. Good long strokes from everyone in this heat. Who's got a big turn off there? I tell you what, there's a great turn in lane 2, 3 from the bottom, Oscar Bellinger there. So Bellinger might have a sprint finish to come. Into the last 25, it's Dion Edwards leading from Raheel Mahmood. Now the first of these 2 will probably get into the final for the 17-year-olds, so it might all be down to the touch for them. It looks like Edwards is going to get it. Yes, he does. Dion Edwards most likely qualifying for the final for the 17-year-olds there in 2:08.37. That's the fastest time we've seen so far, of course. And in second place, Raheel Mahmood. And looking further down, when we get the results for the 16-year-olds, they will, I should think, both qualify for the final. Oscar Bellinger and Ryan Hardy. Well, Ryan Hardy in 2:17 might have to wait and see. Heat 10 now. in the men's 200 metres butterfly. Now swimmers in Heat 10. From the top of your screen, in lane 9, Ethan Williams for Newcastle Swim Team. In 8, Mikhail Naumovich, Wickham District. In 7, Eden Rowe, Northampton. In 6, Harry Chandler, the Royal Wolverhampton School. In 5, Matthew Hamilton, Plymouth Leander. In 4, Samuel Cook for Corby. In 3, Ethan Stubbs-Green for Millfield. And first to the turn is going to be Harry Chandler. Chandler just ahead of Stubbs-Green. The 3 swimmers I haven't introduced yet. In lane 2, Giulio Migliorina. Great turn from Migliorina. In 1, Benjamin Beale, who is our fastest 13-14 swimmer. And in lane 0, Louis Thorne for City of Bristol. Benjamin Beale, by the way, swimming for Northumberland and Durham Performance. In lane 6, Harry Chandler will be first or second at the turn. It's between him and Stubbs-Green. Stubbs-Green just 7/100ths behind. And look at Migliorina's turn, still underwater in lane 2, and now he pops up. That might be a sign that he's got a strong finish to come. So, in lane 3, 4 from the bottom, it's Ethan Stubbs-Green out in front. In lane 6 in the blue cap, Harry Chandler. And then in the centre lane, Samuel Cook and Matthew Hamilton now coming into contention. It's worth keeping an eye, 2 lanes from the bottom, on Benjamin Beale. He is 4 years younger than some of the swimmers in this race, turning now. Beale there in 1:36.7, the likely gold medal contender in the 13-14 final later on. But we'll concentrate on the front of this heat now. Ethan Stubbs-Green out in front, moving now up into second place, and closing the gap is Matthew Hamilton in that silver cap. And also coming through in lane 4, Samuel Cook. We've got a couple of 16-year-olds in here who could be challenging for places in their final. It's Samuel Cook who finishes first in 2:06.15, followed by Ethan Stubbs-Green and Matthew Hamilton, and Harry Chandler in 2:07.24 is our fastest swimmer so far in the 16-year-old group. And Benjamin Beale, he finished 6th in that heat, but our fastest 13-14 swimmer in 2:10.94. Under 2 minutes 11, and he's 14 years of age. On to heat 11. This is the first of our circle seeded heats. I'll tell you more about that in a moment. So we have one of our 3 fastest qualifiers in this heat. It's in lane 4, Andrew Bertoli for University of Stirling. The way the circle seeding works, you get the 3rd fastest swimmer in the 3rd heat from last, the 2nd fastest swimmer in the 2nd heat from last, and the fastest swimmer qualified is in the final heat. So things are a lot more spread out. It means that the times for the winners in these final heats tend to be quite a lot faster than their rivals. Let's introduce the swimmers then. Lane 9, Gabriel Shepherd, City of Leeds, very impressive yesterday, he's 16. Isaac Buchan in 8, Northumberland and Durham Performance is in lane 8, as I said. In 7, Jack Brown, Plymouth Leander. 6, James Shevchenko, the Royal Wolverhampton School. 5, Thomas Sansom, Loughborough University. In 4, Andrew Bertoli, University of Stirling. In 3, Edward Markel Whittles for the Chelsea and Westminster Club. In 2, Callum Rose, Edinburgh University. In 1, David Annis, the Royal Wolverhampton School. And in 0, George Moore for City of Leicester. Sansom in 5, first to the turn in 57.7. Andrew Bertoli in 4 will probably have a strong finish. And David Annis, 2 lanes from the bottom, going well. Also going well in lanes 3 and 6, Edward Marcel Whittles and Thomas Sansom. In this heat, it's worth mentioning we've got 2 17-year-olds in lanes 7 and 8, Jack Brown and Isaac Buchan. They will be medal contenders in their age group. And Gabriel Shepherd in lane 9 will also be a real medal hope, a possible gold medal hope in the 16-year-old final. But out in front then, in lane 4, Andrew Bertoli, leading from Thomas Sansom. They will finish 1 and 2. Who will get third place in this heat? It could be David Annis, 2 lanes from the bottom, but I think in lane 6, James Shevchenko will come in third place. He does. Well, it's actually Annis who got the touch there by 4/100th of a second. But Bertoli in 2:02.2 sets the fastest time so far. Thomas Sansom 2:03.1. And look further down there, 17-year-olds Isaac Bucket and Jack Brown and Gabriel Shepherd, 16 years of age, 2:08.59. On to heat 12. At the top of your picture here, Thomas Woofenden for City of Leeds. He's the fastest 15-year-old in this event. And then further down the pool, we're looking at Samuel Lander for Mount Kelly, Scott Fleming for South Lanarkshire, Ridian Arch for City of Cardiff, Charlie Broome, City of Leeds, Henry Gray, Chelsea and Westminster, Ruben Rowbottom Keating, Loughborough University, Matthew Cairns for Newcastle Swim Team, Rico Bringeman for Loughborough University, and Kieran Lennox for University of Aberdeen. Charlie Broome first to the turn, 27.1. Henry Gray in second at the first turn, 27.2. And Rowbottom Keating also going well, and he had a great turn there. Rowbottom Keating coming through into first place as we come towards the halfway point. It's Rowbottom Keating from Gray, and then, well, Gray actually coming through in the last 10 metres there. He'll turn first. Gray, Rowbottom Keating, Broome and Fleming. 7 swimmers turning, sub 60 seconds there. And keep an eye on Thomas Woofenden at the top of the screen, 61.8 at the turn. He will probably be our fastest 15-year-old so far. He may be in 10th place in this heat, but he is going pretty well in terms of the 15-year-old category. Coming to the final turn then. It's Rowbottom Keating leading from Gray, and Matthew Cairns coming through with a good turn in lane 2, 3 from the bottom. I don't think anybody will be able to catch these 3. Possibly Scott Fleming, 3 from the top, is coming through now. Maybe in 5 Charlie Broome, but it will be Rowbottom Keating to come through to win this heat. And Henry Gray coming in second. Great finish from Charlie Broome. He's going to be third. And in 4th in lane 7, Scott Fleming. 5th, Matthew Cairns. The winning time in that heat, 2:01.63. And Thomas Woofenden finishing strongly. The 15-year-old in lane 9. He finished in a time of 2:07.43. And he will be the fastest qualifier for tonight's 15-year-old final. On we go to heat 13, the final heat. And the swimmers in our final heats: Angelo Gianni Contini for Newcastle Swim Team, Miles Kinlan for City of Sheffield, Brodie Gordon Gibson for Edinburgh University, Llewellyn Porter for Camden Swiss Cottage, who is 16 in lane 6. In the golden lanes, Patrick Braddock in lane 5 for Swansea University, for Thomas Beattie in lane 4, University of Aberdeen Performance. In 3, Antonio Rodriguez, Swansea University. In 2, Tom Robertson, Edinburgh University. In 1, Ewan Wilson, City of Sheffield Swim Squad. And in 0, Tom Hawkins, Royal Tunbridge Wells, Monson. Thomas Beattie out in front in the white cap in lane 4. I mentioned we have a 16-year-old in lane 6, Llewellyn Porter. We also have 2 17-year-old swimmers in this heat. At the bottom of the screen, Tom Hawkins, and 2 from the top, Miles Kinlan. They will be medal contenders, we would think, when it comes to the 17 years final later. Beattie out in front, 57 dead at the turn. 125 metres to go. and Bealey looking strong. In second at the moment, it's Brodie Gordon-Gibson. And then contesting third in the green caps, in lane 5, Patrick Braddock, and in 3, Antonio Rodriguez, the two Swansea University swimmers. And also coming through now, Ewan Wilson, 2 from the bottom for City of Sheffield. Bealey turning first, then Braddock, Rodriguez, Gordon-Gibson. Last 50 then, and Bealey is swimming away from the rest. Antonio Rodriguez looks good for second in this heat. Brodie Gordon-Gibson looking pretty strong as well. Patrick Braddock in 5. Keep an eye on the clock then for Thomas Bealey, the fastest swim of anyone in the heats, 2:01.41, ahead of Braddock and Rodriguez. Llewellyn Porter in lane 6, 2:04.28 for a 16-year-old there. And then looking at the 17-year-old swimmers' times, it's worth keeping an eye on those. In 8th and 10th places, Miles Kinlan, 2:07.00, Tom Hawkins, 2:13.5. They will be in the 17-year-olds final later on this evening. Well swum, everybody, in the men's 200 metres butterfly. So that completes the heats. Our final session will be this evening, starting at 5 p.m. And you can see the top 10 swimmers in each of our age groups competing then. Our next event in this heat session will be the women's 100 metres backstroke. Three swimmers in heat 1. Georgia Howard, Olivia Dolan and Erin Perman. These are all in the 13-14 age group. So all three of these swimmers have swum under 69 seconds for the 100 metres backstroke this year. So anything in the low 68 seconds or quicker is what they will be aiming for. We've got about 18 swimmers in the 13-14 category qualified for this event. So an outside chance of a really exceptional performance getting one of these three into the final. Perman first to the turn in 32.5, then Howard, then Dolan. And at 32.5, you'd say there's a good chance of a sub 68 second swim here for somebody. Erin Perman leading, then Georgia Howard. Erin Perman for Exeter City, Olivia Dolan for Hailsham and Georgia Howard for Wigan Best. And first to touch then in 1:07.47, Erin Perman. Second place for Georgia Howard, 68.08. And Olivia Dolan in third place, 69.97. So a good PB there for Erin Perman, 67.47. That's a 1.5 second PB. Well, that's what we come to these championships and aim to deliver. We move on to heat number 2. And most of our swimmers in this heat in the 13-14 year age category. I'll remind you, the 13s and 14s, that's one age group. They have one final this evening, and then it's individual finals for the 15s, the 16s, the 17s, and we have the 18s and over. So that's how the finals are split. Our swimmers here, Heidi Corbett at the top of the screen for Guildford City. In 8, Matilda Big City of Southampton. In 7, Macy Brough for Newcastle in Staffs. In 6, Iris Hurst, Wigan Warrington Warriors. In 5, Tallulah Rutenbach for Leicester Sharks. In 4, Abby Turnbull for Carlton Forum. In 3, Isla Ince, Guildford City. In 2, Liddy Stansfield, Harrogate District. In 1, Chloe Brotherton, South Tyneside. And in 0, Lucy Douglas for Guildford City. It's Isla Ince out in front. And then second place between 3 swimmers here, Lucy Douglas at the bottom of your screen, then Liddy Stansfield, and then at the top of the picture, Matilda Biggs. But Isla Ince is going to hit the wall first. 67.23 for Isla Ince. That's a PB by a second. Lily Stansfield in third there, sorry, Matilda Biggs, 68.3 in second place. That's just outside her best, 68.3. And Lily Stansfield, 68.4 with a personal best. We move on now to heat number 3. Well, I'm sorry we're not getting the times up on the screens at the moment. What I'll do at the end of the races while we're fixing that issue is I will read out everybody's times at the end of the heat. In lane 9 here, Lauren Lister for Wickham District. In lane 8, Alexandra Nerney for Hatfield. In 7, Megan Daniel for Carradon. In 6, Sophia Stoyanova for Bromley. In 5, Clementine Lovell for Team Ipswich. In 4, Lily Rose Carr, Nova Centurion. In 3, Eve Park in York City Baths. In 2, Dixie Turner Moore for Plymouth Leander. In 1, Sydney Dearlove for Middlesbrough. And in 0, Ellie Bath Rowanelp for Basildon and Phoenix. First at the turn was Clementine Lovell in 5. Then second was Megan Daniel in 7. And third, Sydney Dearlove in 1. Leading in lane 5 then, Clementine Lovell ahead of Sydney Dearlove. And probably in third, I would say at the moment, Megan Daniel, 3 from the top. And this is a strong finish from Dearlove, 2 lanes from the bottom. It's going to be on the touch between Dearlove, 2 lanes from the bottom, and the blue cap in the middle. Clementine Lovell. Lovell gets it, 66.87. In second there was Sydney Dearlove, 67.16. In third, Megan Daniel, 68.14. In fourth place, Dixie Turner Moore, 69.01. In fifth, Eve Parkin, 69.02. In sixth, Sophia Stoyanova, 69.17. 7, Lauren Lister, 109.33. 8th, Ellie Berth Werenelp, 109.45. 9th, Alexandra Nerney, 109.63. And 10th in that heat was Lily Rose Carr. On we go to heat number 4. And I'm pleased to say I think we will get our timings back now. So I might not have to read out all the times here for you. Our swimmers here, Rosie Grosvenor, City of Birmingham. Jessica Kirkwood, University of Aberdeen Performance. Chu Man Rachel Ho for City of Birmingham. In 6, it's Nicole Maynard for Basildon and Phoenix. In 5, Tumininu Makinde for Millfield. In 4, Delilah Paisley, Chelsea and Westminster. 3, Nell Carter for Millfield. In 2, Jessica Hill for Tiverton. In 1, Lois Smith, Basildon and Phoenix. And in 0, Amy Jones for Leatherhead. And in this heat, we've got 4 swimmers in the 13-14 category who we would probably expect to challenge for places in the final. They are in lane 0, 1, 2, 4, 5 and 7. Also in lane 9, Rosie Grosvenor. 4 from the top and leading at the moment in the orange cap is Nicole Maynard for Basildon and Phoenix. 3 from the bottom, Jessica Hill going well for Tiverton. And at the bottom of the picture, Amy Jones also going well for Leatherhead. But it's going to be Jessica Hill who touches first for Tiverton, I think. Oh, Nicole Maynard got their touch. 66.86. Jessica Hill in the 14s category. And that will be good enough, I would think, for a place in the 14-year-old final. I would expect Jessica Hill and Amy Jones under 68 seconds to both qualify for that final. Delilah Paisley and Tumininu Makinde will have to wait and see whether their times are quick enough. On to heat number 5. Our swimmers in this heat: Charlotte Hayden for Wickham District in 9, Lily O'Neill for Stockport Metro in 8, Honor Fox for City of Cardiff in 7, Kate Schillinger Winsford in 6, Kate Roberts City of Liverpool in 5, Georgia Holgate City of Cambridge in 4, Elizabeth Land Newcastle Swim Team in 3, Maisie Chambers of Sevenoaks in 2, Erin Barber Newmarket and District in 1, and Abigail McInerney Inverclyde in lane 0. First to the turn, I think, will be Kate Schillinger in 6, followed by Erin Barber. And actually in lane 9, Charlotte Hayden got into second place at the turn. We have got 2 swimmers in this race from the 13-14 age group. That's 2 from the bottom, Erin Barber and Kate Schillinger in lane 6. 3 swimmers here out in front though. Charlotte Hayden at the top of the screen, and then 2 from the bottom, Erin Barber, and in the middle there of the pool, Kate Schillinger. It's going to be Charlotte Hayden who wins this heat for Wickham District. 65.88 ahead of Schillinger, and then Erin Barber. Schillinger and Barber, 2 14-year-old swimmers. 65.88 the winning time there for Charlotte Hayden. But in second and third places there, Schillinger and Barber will be through to the final for the 13-14 age group. We still have 4 swimmers in that age group to swim in these heats. Confirmation then of the result there. Hayden 65.88, and then Schillinger and Barber both sub 67. On to heat 6. Our swimmers here: Catherine Williams for Wickham District, Asha Mahanta for Worcester, Darcy Platts for City of Leicester, Sierra Broadbelt for Mount Kelly, Eva Sherry, the Royal Wolverhampton School in 5, in 4, Aoife Dwifer Clark for Nothia Gwynedd, In 3, Amelia Oliver for Royal Tunbridge Wells Monson. In 2, Rosie Forster, Warrender Baths. In 1, Charlotte Gower for Rugby. And in 0, Rhea Harand for York City Baths. And first to the turn in lane 1 is going to be Charlotte Gower, I think. Oh, beaten in the turn by Oliver and Sherry. We have 2 15-year-olds in this one. Charlotte Gower 2 from the bottom, and Catherine Williams at the top of your picture. If they can swim under 68 seconds, they'll be going well. And we've got another 15-year-old in the middle in Aoife Dwight-for Clark. And I think the way they're going, they are all going to qualify for their 15-year-old final. As they come into the wall then, in lane 4, Dwight-for Clark is first, 66.29, ahead of Eva Sherry, 66.58, and Catherine Williams in 66.73. Dwight-for Clark and Williams will both qualify for the 15-year-old final with those times. And Charlotte Gower will as well in 4th place there. We'll see Dwight-for Clark, Williams and Gower in the 15-year-old final. On to heat number 7. Amara Addison in lane 9 here. In 8, it's Megan Hills from Millfields. In 7, Hannah Murphy, Royal Tunbridge Wells Monson. In 6, Lucia Lopez for City of Milton Keynes. In 5, Cara Redford for Larkfield. In 2, Zara Kraviec for East Lothian. In 3, Scarlett Shepherd, Guildford City. In 2, Grace Robinson, St Felix School. In 1, Eve Wood for Orkney. And in lane 0, Eve Whitney for Tilehurst. Who's going to turn first here? I think in lane 7, it's Hannah Murphy in 31.3. Scarlett Shepherd, by the way, in lane 3, down in 5th place, is in the 13.14 category. And out in front at the moment, 3 from the top, it's Hannah Murphy, followed by Zara Kraviec. In 3rd, I think at the bottom of your screen right now, Eve Whitney. That's how it looks like they'll finish. Good strong finish here for Hannah Murphy. In lane 7, does she get the touch? Not quite, 6/100ths outside Zara Kraviec's time. Kraviec in first, 65.13, followed by Hannah Murphy, 65.19, and then Eve Whitney. So Scarlett Shepherd finishing in 10th place there in 67.7, but she'll be through to the final for the 14 years. And the 15-year-old swimmers there all look like they will be quick enough for places in the 15-year-old final as well. Heat number 8 is next. And these are our swimmers. Our swimmers here from the top of the screen. Chloe Ridge in 9 for Wigan Best. Erin Gents for Repton in 8. In 7, Megan Titchener for Torfin Dolphins Performance. In 6, Annabelle Compton, Wickham District. 5, Evelyn Hallisey, Newcastle Swim Team. In 4, Amelie Smith for Royal Tunbridge Wells Monson. In 3, Eloise Howarth for Millfield. In 2, for Plymouth Leander, it's Lacey Roberts. In 1, for Royal Tunbridge Wells Monson, Jessica Gable. and in 0, Emilia Czeschik for Northampton. First of the turn there. In lane 1 is Jessica Gable in 31.5. In lanes 4 and 5 here we've got two 15-year-old swimmers. That's Amelie Smith and Evelyn Hallisey. And they are going to be medal contenders in lanes 4 and 5 in the 15-year-old final. I would say most likely they are the only two swimmers in this race who are going to qualify for finals. Coming in into the wall, it's Hallisey, I think, from Smith. Hallisey there in 65.6, Smith in 66.1, Titchener 66.2. Not much to choose between them, but it's the two 15-year-olds who finish in first and second place there. We've got two 15-year-olds still to come in these heats. Smith and Hallisey will be battling for medals when it comes to the 15-year-old final later. Good swims from both. Heat number 9 is next. Halla Harris, Evangeline Pierce, Grace Nichols, Eloise Cole, Heidi Wren, Kiana Kurtzer, Veronica Venuti, Fenella Woodis, Emma Price and Ella Justice in this heat. Now in this heat, I think we've got swimmers contesting for places in 3 separate finals. 2 lanes from the bottom, Evangeline Pierce for Basildon and Phoenix. And in lane 4, Heidi Wren for City of Glasgow. They're in the 17s category. I reckon the first two 17-year-olds in this heat will make it through to the final in their age group. We've got a place possibly for the fastest 16-year-old in the final as well. And in lane 2, keep an eye on Grace Nichols. She's swimming in the 13-14 category, and she will be a medal contender when it comes to the final tonight. So I would say here we're looking at 2 places in the 17-year-old final up for grabs and 1 in the 16s. Out in front is Fenella Woodis competing for a place in that 16-year-olds final, and Heidi Wren in the middle of the pool for a place in the 17s final. It's going to be Woodis in lane 7 to touch first. 63.95, Wren with 64.7 and Justice with 64.9. So the most likely scenario, I would say, is the 2 fastest 17-year-olds in that heat qualify for the final. That's Justice and Wren, who finished in 2nd and 3rd. Most likely Fenella Woodis is going to qualify for the 16s final there, and look at that in in 6th place, Grace Nichols, 66.79 for a 14-year-old, and we've got 2 14-year-olds yet to compete. They're both coming up in the next heat. That will be heat number 10. And the 14-year-olds in this heat are in lanes 6, Lydia Cordell, and in 9, Darcy Smith. The swimmers then, Darcy Smith in 9 for Portsmouth North Sea, Jessica Hunt for Rushmore Royals in 8, Vanessa Timuranova for City of Peterborough in 7, Lydia Cordell for Repton Swimming in 6, Melissa Mannering Swim West Lothian in 5, Libby Mundy Kingston upon Hull in 4, Isabel Price City of Birmingham in 3, Emma Wood City of Leeds in 2, Susie McNair Stirling Swimming in 1, and Gabrielle Freeman in in lane 0 for Northumberland and Durham Performance. Now I think we've got swimmers who are going to qualify in this heat for 4 separate finals. Chimaranova first to the turn in the 16 years category, and she will probably be on course here for a place in that final. Look at lane 5, Melissa Mannering in the orange cap going well. She's in the 18s and over category. And 2 from the top going well, Jessica Hunt. But also look at the bottom in lane 0, Gabrielle Freeman in the 16s category. Who is going to touch first? It's going to be very close in this heat. Chimaranova first in 64.8, second Freeman in 65.03, and Mannering in 65.16. And you'll see on the results list here how spread out in the age groups the swimmers are. 2 14-year-olds in there, the fastest of them, Darcy Smith. 2 16-year-olds qualifying for finals, we would expect. And Lydia Caudle in 10th place there with a good time for a 14-year-old, 68.3. On to heat 11, and this is the first of our seeded heats. So the fastest swimmer in this heat, Rebecca Sutton, is actually the 3rd fastest swimmer by rankings going into the competition. There are 2 16-year-olds to look out for, 3 16-year-olds to look out for in this particular heat. In lane 0 and 1, the 2 at the bottom of your picture, and in lane 6. That's Amber Rigg in 6, Fionn Humphries in 1, and Martina Karabach in 0. Our swimmers then, Catherine Renfrew for Perth City in 9, Laura Ann Marshman for Taunton Dean in 8, Megan Hansford for Tigers in Jersey in 7, Amber Rigg for Cockermouth in 6, in 5 Molly Garrett for City of Manchester Aquatics, in 4 Rebecca Sutton Swansea University, in 3 Caitlin Ebbage University of Stirling, in 2 Mia Collier Black Lion, in 1 Fionn Humphries Nothia Gwyneth Performance, and in 0 Martina Karabach Chelsea and Westminster. The 3 16-year-old swimmers in this heat, Rigg, Humphries and Karabach, they will all be making their way into the final, judging by this performance. And Catherine Renfrew at the top of your picture is likely to qualify for the 17 years final on this performance. Everyone else is competing for the 18s and over. Rebecca Sutton out in front. Good swim here from Caitlin Ebbage in lane 3, 1 lane below. And a strong finish in 2 for Mia Collier, but it will be Sutton first, then Ebbage, and Amber Rigg getting 3rd place there. Rigg, the 16-year-old, 64.05. That will be the fastest time for a 16-year-old so far, and that will qualify Rigg for the 16s final. And when you look at the results here in 6th and 7th places as well, 2 other 16-year-olds, Fionn Humphries and Martina Karabach, should be through to the 16-year final. Catherine Renfrew in 8th place into the 17th final. We had a disqualification there for Megan Hansford. So Megan Hansford disqualified. On we go to heat 12. We've got a slight delay here for the starts of the heat, but I think we're ready to get going again now. Here we go. So in this heat we have Isabel Mather for City of Cambridge, Katie Rose for Warren de Baths, in 7 Lily Grover, the Royal Wolverhampton School, in 6 Florence Tinsley, University of Stirling, in 5 Holly Widows, Mount Kelly Swimming, in 4 Pia Murray, Leyland Barracudas, in 3 Anna Tyers, Derby XL, in 2 Annabelle Crease, Repton Swimming, in 1 B Jones, Leicester Sharks, and in 0 Tegan Matthews for Guildford City. Out in front here at the start, Florence Tinsley, University of Stirling, she'll turn first in 30.25, followed by Holly Widows and then by Lily Grover. Now we've got 2 medal contenders in this heat for the 16-year-olds. That's in lane 0 at the bottom of your picture, Tegan Matthews, and in lane 3, 4 from the bottom, Anna Tyers. They're both going to qualify with these swims for the 16s final. But out in front here, in lane 6, Florence Tinsley holding on, coming through very strong at the end, Pia Murray, but Tinsley's going to get there first, I think, just ahead of Murray. 62.93 the winning time. Murray with 63.05. Annabelle Crease will be in the final for the 17s with that time, 63.98. We'll have 2 more 17-year-old qualifiers for the finals there as well, Lily Grover and Isabel Matthew, but Tinsley, Murray and likely Holly Widows will qualify for the 18s and over final. Tegan Matthews might be having to wait and see whether that was quick enough for the 18s and over final. The final heat now is heat 13. The fastest swimmer qualifying here is Blythe Kinsman from Mount Kelly in lane 4. She is capable of swimming sub 61 seconds in this event, and she's a 17-year-old. We've got 3 17-year-olds in this heat. Sophie Knocker as well in lane 3. And Millie Wells in lane 8. I'll give you the full rundown once we get going in the final heat. At the top of your picture, Grace McDonald of Grantham. She's a 15-year-old. She'll be a contender for the gold medal in the 15-year-old final later on. In lane 8, Millie Wells, Leicester Sharks. In 7, Libby Freeman, Northumberland and Durham Performance. In 6, Sophie Shaw, City of Manchester Aquatics. In 5, Georgina Pryor, Derby XL. In 4, Blythe Kinsman, Mount Kelly. In 3, Sophie Knocker for Reeds. In 2, Nellie Kinch for University of Stirling. In 1, Jess Monk, Anaconda, and in 0, Isabel Trott, City of Liverpool. Blythe Kinsman out quickest, under 30 seconds at the turn. She can swim sub 61. She'll have to come back pretty quickly in the second 50 if she's going to do that here. But in second place, it's Georgina Pryor. And then currently in third, I would say just shading third place, Nellie Kinch down in lane 2, 3 from the bottom. Actually now Sophie Knocker coming through for Reeds in 3, and also going well in 6, Sophie Shaw. It's Kinsman first, followed by Pryor. In third place, Shaw, joint third, Shaw and Knocker, both in 64.39. Grace McDonald, 65.56. She'll have one of the central lanes in the 15-year-old final this evening with that time. Isabel Liptrot as well, a 16-year-old down in 7th place. She'll be one of the central lanes in the 16 years final. And in the 18s and over categories there, Georgina Pryor will qualify for the final, so will Sophie Shaw. Good swimming once again there. Women's 100 metres backstroke heats are complete. We'll see 50 of those swimmers back for the finals in the evening session. Well done, one and all. And we move on to our next event. This is the men's 100 metres backstroke. Our first heat will have 4 swimmers, and these are all 13, 14-year category swimmers. So our swimmers here in lane 6, furthest from our camera, is Harry Robinson of Reeds. In 5, Angus Wood for Kintyre. In 4, Elliot Hughes, Trafford Metro Borough. And nearest to us, Dylan Hill for Kingston upon Hull. Leading us out at the moment is Elliot Hughes. All of these swimmers are 14-year category swimmers, which means they were all born in 2010. First to the turn then, Hughes in 30.7. The target, I would think, for these 4 is to swim sub 65 seconds, and Elliot Hughes looks like he might be on course for that. Good strong finish here coming up for Dylan Hill at the bottom of the picture, but they're all swimming pretty well. 15 metres to go. Can anybody here get under 65 seconds? That would be a real achievement. Into the last 5 and reaching for the wall. 65.00. Well, Harry Robinson couldn't have been much closer to going under 65 seconds, and Elliot Hughes pretty close as well. But I'll tell you what, we had a couple of PBs in there. Harry Robinson, that's a PB. Elliot Hughes, that's a PB, knocking half a second off his previous best. Dylan Hill has been a little faster than that, and so too Angus Woods, but the first 2 with PBs there, well swum. On to heat number 2, and once again these are all 13, 14-year-old swimmers. I'll give you the rundown once we get going. Our swimmers here are Archie Harris-Joy, City of Norwich, Alistair Gironella, Croydon Amphibians, Robert Shipley of Middlesbrough, Benjamin McDougall, Wickham District. Then in the golden lanes, Thomas Ellershaw, Sevenoaks. In 4, Austin McPherson for Garriock. And the 4 swimmers nearest the camera, Nebby Sengula for Highland Swim Team, Hayden Sanders for Bromley in lane 2, William Davis in lane 1 for Newquay Cormorants, and in lane 0 for Norwich Swan, Zach Montgomery. First to the turn here in lane 6, Benjamin McDougall, 30.3, followed by Thomas Ellershaw in 30.7. Hayden Sanders in lane 2, 3 from the bottom, is a year younger than his rivals in this one. He was born in 2011. Going well then in lane 6, Benjamin McDougall, looks like he'll win this heat. 2 from the top, also going well now, Alistair Gironella for Croydon Amphibians, but it's definitely going to be McDougall to the wall first. And what sort of time is he going to post here? 63.59. That's a PB by over a second for Benjamin McDougall. Nebby Sengula, 64.48. That's a PB as well, more than half a second off his best in that swim. And Thomas Ellershaw, 64.75, also getting a 10th off of his personal best. Hayden Sanders, the 13-year-old there, 65.2. He has been quicker than that, Hayden. Nevertheless, a good swim. And it's PBs that we like to see swimmers achieve in these summer championships. It shows that they've prepared to deliver their best performance on the day. We go on to heat 3 next, and I would say there are 4 places available in the final in this heat for the 13-14 category. I'll tell you which categories everyone's swimming in once we get going. Heat number 3. So in lane 9, top of the screen, Alfie Wimperney for Teddington. In lane 8, Benjamin Burdegill for Chelsea and Westminster. In 7, Harry Langford for Wombourne. And in 6, James Payne for Dulwich Dolphins. Into the golden lanes, Finley Richardson, Guildford City, and Dylan Lewis for Worcester. And in the 4 nearest to us, Archie Tebbett for Newhall School, Oliver Pedra for Basingstoke Bluefins, Caden Hitchens for City of Birmingham, and Noah Cartledge for Biddulph. And it's Cartledge, I think, first of the turn. No, just beaten to the touch there by Tebbett in lane 3. And Dylan Lewis as well at the turn. Out in front now, I would say 3 from the top then is Harry Langford, probably in second. In lane 3, Archie Tebbett, but coming through strongly now. Finley Richardson in 5, and also in 4, a strong finish from Dylan Lewis. It's going to be Harry Langford to touch the wall first here. And Harry's in the 15 years category. 61.93, followed by Finley Richardson, 62.52, and Dylan Lewis, 62.94. Noah Cartledge in 4th place there, 62.95. That will get him into the 13-14 years final. Archie Tebbett in 5th. I think he'll be in the 13-14 final with that time, 63.07. But Harry Langford winning that heat in 61.93. We move on to heat number 4. Almost everyone in this heat is 15 years old. But Dominic Bartaletti, I should say, in lane 7, is in the 13-14 category. So away we go with Alfie Owen in lane 9 for Wigan Best, Aaron Drake for Warrender Bards in 8, Dominic Bartaletti for Repton in 7, in 6 Ross Edwards, City of Cardiff, in 5 Ethan Thorpe, Basildon and Phoenix, in 4 Wilfred Lee for Millfield, in 3 Ethan Collins for Bells Hill Sharks, in 2 Finn Adams for Teddington, in 1 Zach Fellows for City of St Albans, and in 0 Samuel Wells for Soundwell. In lane 6, I think, first to the turn, Ross Edwards. No, he's beaten by Bartaletti. Now, Bartaletti is in that 13-14 category, born in 2010. He's swimming his way into that 13-14 final in this heat. We probably need a time of around 61.0 for anyone in the 15s category to qualify for the final. Winning this heat in lane 6, though, it's going to be Ross Edwards, City of Cardiff, just ahead of Wilfred Lee, 60.8, 61.09. Well, I tell you what, both of those swims from Edwards and from Lee could be challenging for a place in the 15-year final. And with 61.7, Dominic Bartaletti qualifies there for the 13-14 years final. 60.85 for Ross Edwards. We'll have to keep an eye on the remaining swimmers in that 15 category to see if that's fast enough from Ross for the final. On we go to heat 5. And in this heat, it's Patrick Pichicina for Eastbourne in 9. In 8, James Kilpatrick for Carnegie. In 7, Samuel Hall, Elmbridge Phoenix. In 6, Harvey Kershaw, Mount Kelly. In 5, Byron Saul Tucker for Portsmouth North Sea. In 4, Joe Jennings for Leander. In 3, Farley Greaves, Swindon Dolphin. In 2, for Ramsbottom, Samuel Sutcliffe. In 1, for Braintree and Bocking, Joshua Parker. And in 0, Joshua Chirita for Millfield. Lane 4 is Jennings and 2 Sutcliffe. They're the first two at the 50-metre turn. We have got swimmers in 3 different age groups here. In lanes 6 and 9, we have 14-year-old swimmers. They're going to qualify for their final the way they're going. And they're mainly 15-year-old swimmers. I would say in this heat, the fastest 2 15-year-olds will be likely to get into the final. Joe Jennings, a 16-year-old first in 59.37. Then Joshua Parker in 60.58. That looks like a quick enough time for the final for Parker. And Samuel Hall 61.00. Well, we'll have to wait and see whether 61 is quick enough to get into the 15-year-olds final. So Joe Jennings first in 59.37. In second place, Joshua Parker, 60.58. I think that's a place in the 15-year-olds final. And Samuel Hall on the borderline at the moment with 61.00. This is heat number 6. And the swimmers in this heat, Ruben Alty for Millfield in 9. In 8, Jeremiah Carnegie for Beckenham. And actually, I should say that Alty isn't swimming, so it's Jeremiah Carnegie in 8, Monty Smith in 7 for Wickham District. In 6, Benedict McCarthy, City of Cardiff. In 5, Isaac Buck and Northumberland and Durham Performance. In 4, Harry Milne for Repton Swimming. In 3, Nikolai Sisnett, City of Glasgow Swim Team. In 2, Corey Phillip, Dundee City Aquatics. In 1, Eric Lassane for Chelsea and Westminster, and in 0, David Hope for Bridlington. McCarthy first to the turn in 28.77, followed there by Eric Lassane. So in lane 4 now, Harry Milne coming through. Milne and McCarthy out in front in lanes 4 and 6, and looking good in 3, Nikolai Sisnett as well for third place here. And I think lane 4, Harry Milne's going to win this heat ahead of McCarthy. 59.45 the winning time there. McCarthy 59.7. And then Nikolai Sisnett in 60.57. I would think the first 3 15-year-olds, well, all 3 15-year-olds in that heat would be contending for places in the final. Jeremiah Carnegie might not qualify for the final with that time, but 69.4 for Monty Smith should see him through. Nikolai Sisnett will be in the 14s final, Benedict McCarthy in the 15s final. Harry Milne, our fastest time so far, 59.45. On we go to heat 7. And we've got 2 15-year-old medal contenders in lanes 4 and 5 in this one. Jensen Owen and Finley Bruce. The swimmers in heat 7. Ryan Close of Bedford at the top of the screen. Then it's Oliver Parry for Aquabears of Rochdale. In 7, Louis Thorne, City of Bristol. In 6, William Viney, City of Birmingham. In 5, Finley Bruce, Perth City, who I mentioned before. In 4, Jensen Owen, City of Sheffield Swim Squad. And then in 3, Joseph Box, City of Birmingham. In 2, Laurel Roberts Burrell for Derby XL. In 1, Oliver Davis, Tootil, City of Sheffield. And in 0, Benjamin Guthrie, City of Milton Keynes. Oliver Parry in 28.45 for the first 50 metres. And in 8th and 9th in the middle of the pool, the 2 15-year-olds, Finley Bruce and Jensen Owen. But here comes Jensen Owen now in lane 4. But leading this heat, 2 from the top of that picture is Oliver Parry of Aquabears. And probably in second, 2 from the bottom, Oliver Davis Tootil here. Davis Tootil, I think, finishing the strong. Yes, he's going to win this heat. It's Davis Tootil, followed by Jensen Owen, and then in third, Oliver Parry. Well, we've still got so many 16-year-olds to swim that I think it might be difficult for more than one 16-year-old from that heat to qualify for the final. But Davis Tutil, 59.5, I think has got a chance of being in the 16-year-olds final. Jensen Owen certainly in the 15-year-olds final. And Finley Bruce, well, I'm not sure if that time, 61.58, will be good enough for a final place. We'll have to wait and see, but we're expecting Jensen Owen to challenge for a medal when it comes to the 15-year-olds final. On we go to Heat 8. And we have 6 16-year-olds in this heat. And I reckon the fastest 4 16-year-olds in this heat might make the final. Let's see. So the swimmers in Heat 8 are Zach Sheriff from Wickham District. In 8, Martin Yankov for Repton Swimming. In 7, Jacob Brown for Tadcaster York Sports Swim Squad. In 6, Joseph Edgar for Northumberland and Durham Performance. In 5, Sam Adams, Anaconda. In 4, for Seagulls, it's Edward Bell. In 3, for Stockport Metro, Henry Taylor. In 2, Oliver Baskerville for Hatfield. In 1, Jack Robinson for Reeds. And in 0, Theodore Rogers for Worcester. Jacob Brown out in 28.22, followed by Sam Adams. I'll give you an update as we go on here, but I reckon probably the fastest 4 16-year-olds, if we can get around 60-second mark, will get into the final in the 16-year-old category. In lane 5, going well, Sam Adams, he's leading, but also Jacob Brown in contention, and Martin Yankov. Adams first, Yankov second, Brown third, and Henry Taylor fourth. Now, I would say when we look at the confirmed results in a moment, what we're looking for is probably the fastest 3 16-year-olds in this heat will make the final, and that would be Yankov. Well, he'll definitely be qualifying. Henry Taylor and Oliver Baskerville as well. Jack Robinson, we'll have to wait and see. But I think those sub 60-second 16-year-olds will be in the 16-year-old final later. We're on to Heat 9 now. And in this heat we've got the second fastest 15-year-old qualifier and the second fastest 13-14 qualifier. That's Ethan Soppert-Moss in the 15s category and Austin Manley in the 13s-14s. So our swimmers here in lane 9, Ethan Soppert-Moss for Corby. In 8, Isaac Thompson for Tigers of Jersey. In 7, Harvey Reid for City of Birmingham. In 6, Isaac Jones for Mount Kelly. In 5, Jack Doherty Simpson for City of Glasgow. In 4, Santino Del Real for Chelsea and Westminster. In 3, Logan van der Meulen for Stirling. In 2, Austin Manley for Repton. In 1, Harry Sharp for Warrender. And in 0, Zachariah Dale for Newcastle. It's Dale who turns first, ahead of Sharp then. And remember, Ethan Soppert-Moss at the top of the screen. He will be a medal contender in the 15s category. And Austin Manley in lane 2, 3 from the bottom, a real contender in the 13s, 14s. For everybody else, well, we've got 4 16-year-old swimmers here, and I think if you're 16, you need to be going probably under 59.7 to guarantee a place in the final in this heat. It looks like lane 0 might win this one. Zachariah Dale does, 59.29. That sets a target for the 17-year-olds. Isaac Thompson, well, he'll be in the 16s final. He got 59.38 there. And I think as well Harry Sharp, 59.4. That should be good enough for the 16s final. Santino Del Real will be borderline. for the 16s final with his time there of 59.9. On to heat number 10. And in this heat, the two outside lanes are interesting. Xander Tovey is the fastest 13-14 swimmer, and Toby Nakamura Drew is the fastest 15 years swimmer. So they might not be in contention to win this heat. We'll see how it pans out, but they are real gold medal contenders in their own age groups when it comes to tonight's finals. From the top, Xander Tovey of Millfield in the 13-14s category. Then it's Charlie Meek of Poole, Callum Peebles, East Lothian Swim Team, Henry Gray of Chelsea and Westminster. In lane 5, Mehmet Zeren for Camden Swiss Cottage. In 4, Jake Hutchinson, Leicester Sharks. In 3, Jamie Gray for Plymouth Leander. In 2, Rhys Blackett, Newcastle Swim Team. In 1, Adam White for Millfield. And in 0, Toby Nakamura Drew for Plymouth Leander. In lane 2, Rhys Blackett first to the turn. No lane 4, Jake Hutchinson, I should say. 3 from the bottom here, Rhys Blackett in the black cap out in front. And then in second place, I would say at the moment, Henry Gray of Chelsea and Westminster. And then Jamie Gray in 3, going quite well, but it's going to be Blackett from Gray. 57.9 for Blackett, 58.1 for Gray. And Jamie Gray, 58.8. So 2 Greys, I should differentiate them for you. Henry Gray in second, Jamie Gray in third. And just have a look in fourth place, Xander Tovey in the 13s, 14s category, 58.98 in that heat for him. And in the 15s category Toby Nakamura, 59.14. They will both be in their individual age group finals tonight. On to heat 11, and this is the first of our seeded heats. So that means that Jamie Ferguson in lane 4 is one of our fastest 3 swimmers entered for the event. In lane 5, Dean Fern is our fastest entry in the 16-year-old event. So Dean Fern just 16 in lane 5. The full rundown then, it's Finley Pope for Ramsbottom in 9, Bryden Byrne of Mount Kelly in 8, Lewis Maxwell, Northumberland and Durham Performance in 7, George Whittle, Derby XL in 6, then Dean Fern, the 16-year-old, in 5, Jamie Ferguson in 4 for University of Aberdeen Performance, Zeno Ubertali for Chelsea and Westminster in 3, Jordan McPhail, Edinburgh University in 2, Oscar Dodds, Tigers in Jersey in 1, and David Annis, the Royal Wolverhampton School in 0. Ferguson first to the wall, 27.0, then Ubertali and Fern. I think the first 3 swimmers in the 18s and over category here would most likely qualify for their final. We've also got 17-year-olds here. If they can deliver times under 58 seconds, I think if you're 17 years old, you've got to go under 58 for a place in the final. Ferguson's going to win the heat. And who's going to be second? It looks like it will be Fern. Ferguson 56.2, Fern 56.6, and Jordan McPhail third in 57.02. Well, Ferguson will be in the final for the 18s and over with that time. And Dean Fern will be the fastest qualifier in the 16 years category, 56.6. Zeno Ubertali, he'll be in the 17s final. Finley Pope and Bryden Byrne, they might have to wait and see with times outside 58 seconds for the 17s final. I think that will be good enough for both of them, but we'll have to wait and see. Heat 12 is next. We've got 4 17-year-olds in this race. I think for 17-year-olds we're looking at under 58 seconds. Let's run down the swimmers because we've got a delay to the start of the next heat. So in lane 0 will be Daniel Johnston for Nofio Segar. In 1, Lucas Brown. In 2, Charlie Broom. In 3, Connor Charrington. 4, Zach Speakman. 5, Jamie Robertson. In 6, Toby Godsell. In 7, Fergus Thompson. In 8, George Snow. And in 9, Dennis Miałkowski. The 17-year-olds in this heat are Johnston in 0, Godsell in 6, Thompson in 7 and Miałkowski in 9. And I think they qualify for their final, any of those 4, if they swim sub 58 seconds. That's the target for those swimmers. Everyone else in this heat is in the 18s and over category. And the swimmer in the pool, I think, must mean, I didn't spot it, but I think it means we had to dive in and rescue something from the bottom of the pool before we carried on. So usually a nose slip or something like that. It's been rescued and we can get on with heat 12. There's 2 heats to go. Zach Speakman in 4 is the outstanding entry in this heat. And we've got 2 University of Stirling swimmers in lanes 4 and 5, Speakman and Jamie Robertson. Lane 3 is empty then, so it's Miałkowski in 9, Snow in 8, Thompson in 7, Godsell in 6, Robertson in 5, Speakman in 4, Broom in 2, Brown in 1 and Johnston in 0. As I say, for 17-year-old swimmers in this heat, I think under 58 seconds guarantees a place in the final. Anything above that is wait and see. And it's Jamie Robertson who will turn first, just ahead of Toby Godsell. Godsell in the 17-year category. So this looks like he'll be swimming into the final. It's one of the 6 fastest swimmers in the 17 years category. Lane 5, Jamie Robertson out in front. Zach Speakman coming through as well, both in the 18s and over. It's going to be Robertson from Speakman and then Godsell. 55.6 the winning time. Toby Godsell will be in the 17s final with that time 56.8. I think you've got to be under 58 seconds to guarantee if you're 17. Dennis Miałkowski should qualify for the final then for the 17s with 57.93. And George Snow will have to wait and see for the 18s and over, but Speakman and Robertson, they'll be in the 18s and over final. We'll see them both later in the session that starts at 5 p.m. On to our final heat then, and it features our fastest qualifier in lane 4. Our fastest entry, perhaps I should say, Jonathan Adam for the Bath Performance Centre. And Adam can swim sub 54 seconds at his best. In lane 5, Samuel Greenbank then, there. Luke Greenbank's brother. We'll see Luke in the Olympics next week. Oh no, Jonathan Adam, he's withdrawn then in lane 4. So our swimmers, Joseph Adams, Daniel Ransom, Rio Dowdu, Charlie Paul, Samuel Greenbank, Adam Graham, Harry Nicholson, Alexander Casey and Cameron Jameson. And Sam Greenbank is leading the way then for City of Sheffield. In lane 8, 2 from the top is Daniel Ransom in the 16 years category for City of Leeds. Ransom turning in 28.3. Greenbank leading though in 26.89. Big turn from Greenbank, giving himself a nice start to the second 50, and look too from the bottom of the picture, Alexander Casey of Loughborough University going well, and so too Harry Nicholson for Newcastle swim team. In the centre of the pool though, it's Samuel Greenbank, and then we've got 4 others competing for second place. Greenbank 55.9, Nicholson 56.4, Graham 56.5, Alexander Casey 56.6, and Charlie Paul 56.8. And Daniel Ransom, the 16-year-old there, finishing in 6th. He'll be in the 16-year-olds final as the fastest qualifier. Rio Dowdu, Joseph Adams and Cameron Jameson outside 58 seconds. Well, I think Dowdu will be in the 17s final. I'm not sure if Adams or Jameson will both make it. But that's the men's 100 metres backstroke complete, and we'll see the best 50 swimmers, 10 in each age group, back for the finals tonight. That session starts at 5 p.m. We're on to the women's 100 metres breaststroke next. And in heat 1, we have 8 swimmers, 7 of them in the 13s and 14s category, and in lane 4, Gabriella Giblin in the 15 years category. All of these swimmers in this heat capable of swimming under 1 minute 18. And I'd say the target for everyone here in this first heat is to get under 1:17. That would be a PB for just about everyone in this heat. So 1 minute 17 the target, or under 1 minute 17 for everyone in here. Long start, great dive and streamline from Charlotte Schau in lane 3. The swimmers reading from the top in lane 8, Isabella Parsons-Loads from Repton Swimming. In 7, Eleanor Armstrong, Trafford Metro Borough. In 6, Olivia Quiller of Maidstone. In 5, Charlotte Wilkinson, Beverley Barracudas. In 4, Gabriella Giblin, Stockport Metro. In 3, Charlotte Schau, Camden Swiss Cottage. In 2, Sophie Kilby, Seagulls. And in 1, Hannah McCarty of City of Glasgow. It was Isabella Parsons-Loads first to the turn and looking good now. Charlotte Schau second at the turn. There's an outside chance that the winner of this heat could qualify for the 13s, 14s final, but I would say anyone swimming faster than 1:17 in this heat has delivered a big performance at the biggest meet of the year for them. And it's Parsons-Loads at the top of our screen who is going to come home first, and she'll certainly be under 1:17. 1:15.4. Olivia Quiller also under 1:17, so too Hannah McCarty. Not quite a PB for Hannah, but sub 1:17. And also going under 1:17, Gabriella Giblin in 4th place. So they are 3 PBs there for Parsons-Loads, Quiller and Giblin. On to heat number 2. And the swimmers here in lane 9 at the top of the screen. Eloise Herbert for Tadcaster York Sports Swim Squad. In 8, Lexi Agarston for Redditch. In 7, Lois Child for Harrogate District. In 6, Alice Collins for Cranley. And in 5, Esme Hall, Northumberland and Durham Performance. 2 Northumberland and Durham Performance swimmers in the middle of the pool actually, because in lane 4 it's Millie Cammock. In 3, Ellen Winstanley for City of Hereford. In 2, Charlotte Burfitz for Maidenhead. In 1, Lily Stansfield for Harrogate District. And at the bottom of the screen, Olivia Zobeck in lane 0 for Camden Swiss Cottage. A huge lead at the turn for Alice Collins of Cranley, 34.2. I think anyone swimming under 1 minute 16 in this heat is going well. And Collins looks on time, on course for that. In second at the moment, I would say top of the screen is Eloise Herbert. And third, probably now streaming through, three from the bottom, Charlotte Burfitt. She's having a good final 50. And they are catching Collins now. Through comes Burfitt, I think, probably to take this heat. Three from the bottom, yes she does, 1:15.9. Then Lois Charles, 1:16.7. I think under 116 here is a good performance. So Burfitt's done that with a PB. 1:16.6 was her previous best. Lois Childs, she has been 1:14 in the past. Ellen Winstanley there, 1:16.9, just outside her best. But Charlotte Burfitt with a PB, 1:15.98. On to heat 3. So in this heat, it's Jessica Shue of Beckenham in lane 9. Georgina Hamilton, City of St Albans in 8. Sophie Dixon, Blackpool Aquatics is in 7. In 6, Amber Rigg of Copkermouth. In 5, Fionn Matthias of Swindon Dolphin. Lane 4 is empty. Then in lane 3, Sadie Robinson, West Dorset. Lane 2, Ava Wilson, Mount Kelly. Lane 1, Lily Horton, Wirral Metro. And in lane 0, Neve Savary for Newcastle Swim Team. Once again, anyone swimming under 1:16 in this heat's doing well. And first to the turn, Sophie Dixon, 3 from the top there for Blackpool Aquatics. Just ahead of Ava Wilson, 3 lanes from the bottom. But Wilson's going well now in this second 50 in the white cap, 3 lanes from the bottom. It's Wilson and Dixon out in front. Dixon, I'd say, is leading. Look at lane 3 now. 4 from the bottom of your screen, and Sadie Robinson for West Dorset really coming through strongly. I'd say Dixon at the moment, Robinson at the moment looks likely to take this one. Swimming very well into the wall. 1:17.2 for Sadie Robinson. Dixon 1:17.6. And then Ava Wilson 1:17.7. So confirmation, 3 swimmers there under 1:18. Sophie Dixon in the 13-14 category there. On to heat number 4. And the swimmers here, Eve Hibbert for City of Sheffield Swim Squad at the top of the screen. Then it's Rose Harrison of Tiverton in 8 in the blue cap. Marina Kennedy, Camden Swiss Cottage in the white cap, 3 from the top. Yola Bellinger for Salisbury Stingrays in lane 6. Then in the golden lanes, Josephine Lawn of Bromley and Maurice McNee of City of Birmingham. And the 4 lanes closest to us, Lily Mundy for Heart of Midlothian. In 2, Kenza Ajimi, City of Coventry. Amelia Murphy, Whittam Dolphins in the dark cap. And in 0, Elizabeth Adam for Leyland Barracudas. Lawn turning first, 35.19 with Magny. And then Mundell. Josephine Lawn out in front. But lane 3 going well, Lily Mundell. And also lane 6 looking strong here. That's Yola Bellinger in the dark cap. Lawn looks like she can hold off all challengers here. And this will be good enough for a place in the 13s, 14s final for Josephine Lawn. The way she's going to win the heat in lane 5. 1:13.96. That's definitely going to be good enough to get into the 13s, 14s final. Yola Bellinger, she'll be in the final there for the 13-14 category with 1:14.68. Maurice McNee in third place there, 1:14.8. And Eve Hibbert probably qualifying for the 13-14s final there, I would say, with 1:15.8. This is heat 5. From the top of the screen, Olivia Robbins for City of Birmingham. Then it's Isabel Owen, City of Birmingham. And in 7, Charlize Harding, Norwich Swan. In 6, Amelia Denham for Chesterfield. In 5, Annalise Elford, Whitney and District. In 4, Isabella Cleary, Leamington Spa. In 3, Katie Coventry, Northumberland and Durham Performance. In 2, Ailey Robertson, South Ayrshire. Lane 1, Charlotte Thompson, Midlothian. And in lane 0, Elisha de Souza, Hillingdon Swim Club. Elford is first to the turn, followed by Denham. 34.2, and Isabel Cleary in 4th place is 13 years category, so a good strong swim for her here, born in 2011. Elford in the 15s category out in front, and then followed by Amelia Denham. And 2 from the top, actually. Isabel Owen looks like she's coming through for 2nd place in this heat, but it's Elford who'll come in first, then Owen. 3rd place, Olivia Robbins at the top of the screen in 1:15.8. We're looking at the times here for 3rd place, Olivia Robbins. That will get into the 13s, 14s final, 1:15.8. And also Isabella Cleary, 1:15.8. She'll be in there. Isabel Owen will probably be contending for a medal with that time. On to heat 6. So our swimmers in heat 6 are Gracie Parker for Basildon and Phoenix in the orange cap furthest from us. Then it's Isabel Cameron, City of Peterborough. Zahara Smith, Warren de Baths. Maisie Brown, Rushmore Royals. In the golden lanes, we've got Amelie Spicer, City of Bristol, and Ella Bissix for City of Swansea. Then the 4 lanes closest to us, Gisela Silano, who is in the 13-14 category. Neve Dunbar, City of Leicester in 2, Ella McDermott, City of Leeds in 1, and Philippa Hickman, Nova Centurion in 0. Isabel Cameron turning first in 34.02, then Gracie Parker. I would say the fastest 16-year-old swimmer in this heat will qualify for the final. Most of these swimmers are in that 16s category. And in lane 3, 4 from the bottom, Gisela Silano, well, she'll be a medal contender in the 13s, 14s. 2 from the top. It's Isabel Cameron then who's going to come through to win this heat. And I think Zahara Smith in the lane next to her might actually hold on for 2nd here. It's Cameron, Smith, Maisie Brown in 3rd. And then on the near side, Ella McDermott. And in lane 1, Ella McDermott. And Philippa Hickman, sorry. So, most likely, the fastest 16-year-old there, Maisie Brown, in 1:15.1, could get into the 16-year-olds final. This is heat number 7. We've just got a slight delay to heat number 7, so let me tell you who the swimmers will be. From the far side, Mabel Walker for Repton, then Charlotte Cope, Guildford City, Iris Court, Anaconda, Lily Davis, City of Peterborough, Ellie Louise Kennedy, City of Glasgow, Gwenllian Evans, City of Cardiff, Scarlett Tinwell for Newcastle in Staffordshire, Mai Rogers for Warren de Baths, and then Sophie Statham, Guildford City of Leicester, and Margarita Stoimanova for Newham University of East London. We just had to rescue a hat from the pool. That was our delay. We've done that, and we're ready for heat number 7.
Let's go, Charlie.
2 16-year-old swimmers in this heat. Iris Courts, 3 lanes from the top, and in lane 5, Ellie Louise Kennedy. If they swim anywhere near their best times, they should both qualify for the final, and we're talking about 1 minute 14 or so to guarantee them places in the final for the 16-year-old category. In lane 6, out in front, Lily Davis, City of Peterborough, and Mabel Walker in lane 9. Just 6/100th of a second between those two at the turn. And we've got a pretty good race here down the final 50. Maya Rogers in lane 2, 3 from the bottom, going pretty well, but the real race is on the far side. At the top of the picture, Mabel Walker for Repton, then 1 lane below, Charlotte Cope for Guildford. And they have both pulled away now from Lily Davis. It's going to be Charlotte Cope who's finishing the strongest to come through first. Cope, then Davis and Walker, I should think. Cope first, Davis second, Walker third. 1 minute 13. Now, I mentioned that 16-year-old swimmers probably need to swim about 1 minute 14 to guarantee their places in the final. So let's have a look at the 16-year-old results when we get them here. Ellie Louise Kennedy, 1 minute 16, and Iris Court, 1 minute 18. That might allow 16-year-olds from previous heats to challenge for the final. We still have 16-year-olds to swim. On to heat number 8. And in this heat, it's Ellen Eccleston in lane 9 for City of Norwich, Sophie King for Swindon Dolphin in 8, Eleanor Hall for Millfield in 7, then Anna Farr for Leicester Sharks in 6, Lily Green in 5 for Plymouth Leander, Lauren Kenner for Millfield in 4, Bonnie Mooney for City of Birmingham in 3, Megan Mills York City Bards in 2, Yanting Emily Pack for City of Cambridge in 1, and Seren Talentire for Northumberland and Durham Performance in 0. In lane 4, Lauren Kenner going out well, so too Anna Farr. And in lane 9, Ellen Eccleston getting to the turn first, ahead of Yanting Emily Pack. We've got 3 15-year-old swimmers in this heat. 1 minute 14 or better for the 15-year-old should be good for a place in the final. Lily Green in lane 5 is our fastest 13-14 swimmer. At the far side, Ellen Eccleston looks like she's going to take this heat quite comfortably. It looks like Eccleston from Anna Farr. And then in lane 3 going well, Bonnie Mooney at the finish. It's Eccleston, Farr, then Mooney. 1:12.33. I reckon you've got to be looking at 1 minute 14 or better if you're 15 for a place in the final. And probably the same if you're 16, 1 minute 14 or better. So Bonnie Mooney in the 15-year-old final, Lily Green in the 13-14 final for sure. Yanting Emily Pack, probably a 15-year-old final qualifier there. Sophie King maybe as well. On to heat 9. The swimmers here are in lane 9, Perry Scobby for Stirling, Annabelle Cook for City of Sheffield, Kirsty Neal for Millfield, Isabella McGeorge for Step Rock. In the middle lane, Sophie Hamilton, Winchester City Penguins, Emily McGee, Dundee City Aquatics. Then in 3, Hannah Bettington for Stokesley, Morgan Brand for Rugby in 2, Gabriella Hunt for City of Liverpool in 1, and in 0, Holly Waymond for Maxwell. Lane 5, Sophie Hamilton out in front with Emily McGee. 33.9 at the turn for both of those swimmers. Kirsty Neal and Perry Scobby, if they can swim under 1:14, should make it to the 17 years final. Waymond and Hunt, they will qualify for the 16s final as well if they can get around 1:14. Everybody in this heat really looking to get under 1:14. Out in front then in lane 4, Emily McGee in first. Strong finish 3 from the top here for Kirsty Neal of Millfield, and she's going to take this heat, Kirsty Neal. Good finish, 1:13.45, followed by McGee in 1:14.1, and then in third place was Hannah Bettinson. Kirsty Neal, I would think, will make the final there for the 17 years with 1:13.4. And everybody else there has to wait and see, I would say. Holly Wayman may be in the 16s final. This is Heat 10. Our swimmers in Heat 10. From the top of the screen, Asia Kent for Mount Kelly, then Tia Hendley of Leamington Spa. In 7, it's Emma Allett-File for Guildford City. In 6, Sophie Brassington for Mount Kelly. In 5, Murray Gibson, City of Cardiff. In 4, Cora Lanham, Street and District. And the 4 lanes closest to us, Eva Harris-Brown, Camden Swiss Cottage. Beth Young, Team Ipswich. Grace Earp, Worcester. And Danielle Xiong, City of Milton Keynes. At the top of the screen, Asia Kent was first to the wall, and a great turn from Asia Kent as well, pulling away from everybody else. She was 6/10 ahead at the turn, and she's got a bigger lead than that now. Everybody fighting to keep up, and surging through in lane 4 now, Cora Lanham, going well in the dark cap. High stroke rate for her, but nobody's going to catch Kent. Or maybe Cora Lanham can. She's finishing very well. I think Lanham is going to catch Kent into the last 5. Lanham, what a finish, what a final 50. 1:12.09. Asia Kent 1:12.3. And Mari Gibson 1:12.79. Well, Cora Lanham with a really good swim there. Asia Kent will make the 17 years final with that time of 1:12.3. Mary Gibson will be in the 16s final. Eva Harris-Brown in the 17s final. They'll be back in the session that starts at 5 o'clock. This is Heat 11, the first of our seeded heats. In lane 9 here, Erin Robertson for Basingstoke Bluefins. In 8, Imogen Miles for Sevenoaks. In 7, Caitlin Hartley for Hatfield. In 6, Jasmine DeCunha Mount Kelly. In 5, Charlotte Bianchi for City of Sheffield. In 4, Theodora Taylor of Torfin Dolphins, a medalist at European Juniors. In 3, Camelia Stoimanova, Swansea University. In 2, Lucy Canavan, the University of Birmingham. In 1, Anna Finley, Northumberland and Durham Performance. And in 0, Joni Dunn, City of Liverpool. It's Camelia Stoimanova first at the 50-metre mark, ahead of Taylor. Taylor, we would expect to make it to the 15-year-old final comfortably. So too Imogen Miles, 2 lanes from the top, the way they are going. Joni Dunn, also in that 15 category at the bottom of our screen in lane 0. Out in front then, only just in lane 4, Theodora Taylor from Stoimanova. Taylor surging through in the last 10 to take this one. It's Taylor in 69.66, Stoimanova 69.83, and Jasmine DeCunha in 1:12.52. Well, 69.6 is a good time for Theodora Taylor. Imogen Miles will be in the 15 years final, and most likely DeCunha Stoimanova will be in the 18s and overs final with those times. On to Heat 12. Our swimmers here in lane 9, Jodie Dilks for Tiverton. In 8, Amelia Riggett for Mount Kelly. In 7, Kira Fletcher for Nova Centurion. In 6, Charlotte Hardy for Millfield. In 5, Jasmine Carter, Basildon and Phoenix, another European Junior Championship medalist. Amy Crowley of City of Cardiff is in 4, Madley Collier Repton swimming in 3. In 2, it's Georgia Gussie for Plymouth Leander. In 1, Ruby Stevenson for City of Milton Keynes, and in 0, Hannah Capron for Repton. Amy Crowley turning first in 32.8, and followed into that turn by Amelia Riggett, 2 lanes from the top, but good turn for Crowley, puts her out in front. It's Crowley followed by Carter, the 2 in the middle lanes. At the bottom of your screen in lane 0, Hannah Capron looks like she's in 3rd place at the moment, but surging through in lane 6 now, Charlotte Hardy for Millfield, and also in lane 2, Georgia Gussie, Plymouth Leander. It's Crowley coming in first, followed by Carter, and who's going to get 3rd here? Georgia Gussie in 2, 1:11.37. Jasmine Carter in the 15-year category. So definitely in the final, a medal contender. Hannah Capron in the 15s final as well with those times. Crowley and Gussie will be in the 18s and over final with 1:11. And Charlotte Hardy in the 17s final. This is the final heat, heat 13. And the swimmers here are Nellie Clark, University of Birmingham, Sophie King of Woking, Anastasia Musat for City of Salford, Gabrielle Idlebeavers, Mount Kelly. In the golden lanes, Caris O'Reilly, City of Sheffield, and Sienna Robinson, Loughborough University. And the 4 lanes closest to us, Maya Hall, Northumberland and Durham Performance, Emily Farr, University of Surrey, Anna Healy, Wigan Best, and Ashley Ransom of Hatfield. Sienna Robinson out in front in lane 4, and then the 3 lanes nearer to us, all going with her. That's Maya Hall and Anna Healy, as well as Emily Farr. So Robinson, Healy, Hall and Farr at the turn. Big turn there for Robinson to get away from the field, but staying with her here is Maya Hall, and also now swimming strongly, Emily Farr, 3 lanes from the bottom. It's Robinson from Hall and then Farr, and a big effort in lane 0 from Ashley Ransom. I think she's got too much ground to make up here. It's going to be Sienna Robinson to finish first, ahead of Hall and Farr. 69.5, 1:11.14 and 1:11.68 for the first 3 swimmers there. They'll all be in the 18s and over final with those performances. And then as we look a little further down the results, you'll notice in 8th and 9th places there, Anastasia Musat into the 15s final, 1:13.4, and Gabrielle Idlebeavers, 1:13.89 in the 16s finals. So that's the women's 100 metres breaststroke complete. Good swimming there. Several strong PBs. And we turn our attention to the opposite end of the pool now, because it's the men's 50 metres breaststroke. We always finish at the end to our left. So for the 50 metre races, we start away to our right. And I'll remind you, there were no 13, 14-year-old swimmers in the 50 metre events, so these swimmers are all in the 15 years category. So in this heat, in the centre lanes, you've got Sky Sharples in 4 and Arthur Greenwalker in 5. Sharples is the first to show with a really good start. And then in lane 3, closer to us, Victor Gould going well. It's Sharples from Gould and then Greenwalker into the last 15 metres. And looking good Gould in lane 3. I think he might come through and take this one, you know. Yes, he will. Victor Gould, very strong in the last 15. 31.6 from Sky Sharp was in 31.7, and then Green Walker 31.99. And they are good times for those three swimmers. I think that's the first time under 32 seconds for all three of them. So PBs for Gould, Sharples and Green Walker. Well swum. On to heat 2. And the fastest ranked swimmers in here, in lane 4, Ridian Shepherd, and in 5, Edward Davey. They are 17-year-old and 16-year-old swimmers respectively. The gauntlet's been thrown now. We need to go under 32 seconds here. In lane 6, Arian Nath is going well for Corby. He's in the lead at the moment, followed by Ridian Shepherd in 4 in the blue cap. Then I'd say in 3rd place at the moment, probably James McGettigan. It will be Nath to finish first, I think, from Shepherd as they reach for the wall. No, it's the other way round. Shepherd, then Nath, both going under 32 seconds. I would say 15-year-old swimmers in this heat who get under 32 seconds are likely to make the final. Yes, Nath, I would say, will get in with 31.4 for sure. McGettigan, well, borderline, but I think Sky Sharples from the first heat now might be into that 15-year-old final. On we go to heat 3. The fastest ranked swimmer in this one, Lachlan Small in lane 4, then Dylan Mitchell in 5. And it's Mitchell of Warrender Baths who's off to the strongest start, out in front. 3 from the top, Rory Webster of Dumfries is going well, and at the bottom of his screen as well, Ben Buckley and Frederick Dutoft doing very well. But 3 from the top, Rory Webster looks like he's out in front. It's between him and Dutoft in 8 and 1. Webster first, Dutoft second, 31.03. Bear in mind when we see the results here, I think you've got to be under 32 seconds if you're 15 to qualify for the final. Probably under 31.9, I think, if you're 15 to guarantee a place in the final. We do have 15-year-old swimmers still to come. That's why it's difficult to be absolutely sure. But I would say that Frederick Dutoft, Lachlan Small, Benjamin Roberts and Dylan Mitchell should make the 15s final. All of those 15-year-old swimmers with those swims. On to heat 4. In lane 4, the fastest ranked swimmer, George Upton. Second fastest ranked is Finlay Lowe in 5. Good start, 3 lanes from the bottom for Aubrey Armada Bennett from Royal Tunbridge Wells Monson, and 2 from the top, very good, Joseph Ashley, City of Liverpool. I'd say Ashley is just leading as we get to the last 15 metres, but surging through. 3 from the bottom here is Aubrey Armada Bennett and George Upton. Upton in 4, Armada Bennett in 2. And they tie for second. Joseph Ashley actually came through and took first place in 30.79. Now I reckon the 15-year-old swimmers here, if they swim under 31.5, would be in the final. So I think both of those make it. That's Jeremiah Carnegie and William Irvine. Jeremiah Carnegie swam in 2 finals in the session last night. He'll be back for more tonight. On to heat 5. The fastest ranked swimmers in heat 5, Edward Ormsby in 4 and Johnny Martin in lane 5. These are 16 and 17 years swimmers. you've really got to be getting around 30 flat to get into the 16s or 17s final. And 2 lanes from the top, Joshua Sakri, City of Peterborough's going well. 4 from the bottom, also going well, Ewan Weir, and 2 from the bottom, Finley Sang. Who's going to get the touch? Right at the top, it's going to be Joshua Sakri, then it's Weir, followed by Sang. Now 30.09 the winning time there for Sakri. That is going to be pushing for a place in the 16s final. I'm not sure if Ewan Weir will quite be quick enough with 30.3. He'll have to wait and see. The same goes for Finley Sang. Lots of 16s and 17s still to swim. This is heat 6. And as we have a slight delay, I'll mention in lane 8, 2 from the top of your picture, Ryan Arwam of Enfield. He's in the 15 years category. So Arwam, 2 from the top, is our second fastest ranked 15-year-old in this event. Good start, 3 lanes from the bottom from Frederick Beasley for Paul. In lane 4 in the white cap in the middle, Jack Mitchell going well. So too in lane 5, looking the strongest at the moment is Thomas Williams for Guildford City. And at the bottom of the screen as well, Patrick Dee of City of Coventry going well. Into the last 5. Dee's out in front. It's going to be Dee ahead of Williams. Actually, it's the other way round. Williams 30.2, Dee 30.3. Now to get into that 17 years final, I think we've seen that the target set is probably 30.3. Thomas Williams might make it. Patrick Dee on the borderline. Down in 9th place there, Ryan Owen, 31.03, our fastest 15-year-old so far. On to heat number 7. So keep an eye on the outside lanes in this one because we've got 2 17-year-olds there, Connor Mitchell and Jamie Steadman. We've got 16-year-olds as well, Max Morgan in 4. Well, we know how good he is. He broke a British record last night. He's going to have to come back from behind here if he's going to win it, but he's well capable of doing that. Sorry, I've got the wrong heat list. Excuse me. In lane 2 here, 3 from the bottom is Josh Mitchell-Story. Daniel Ransom first. Excuse me there. First Daniel Ransom, Josh Mitchell-Story in second, and then Noah Wheeler in third. Daniel Ransom, a 16-year-old, 29.6. That's going to be in the 16s final. Josh Mitchell-Story, 29.7. That sets the bar in the 18s and over. Not sure if that will quite make it, but Noah Wheeler into the 17s final with 29.88. And this is the Heat 8 start list. I mentioned Max Morgan. He swims in lane 4. And the 17-year-olds I mentioned are in the outside lanes in this one. That's Connor Mitchell and Jamie Steadman. Mitchell at the bottom of the screen and Steadman at the top. Max Morgan in lane 4 will be expected, though, to surge through here for Reeds in the 16 years category. He's being followed here by Samuel Nield. So it's Morgan from Nield. They're going to be 1 and 2, I think. No, maybe in lane 2. Oliver Taverner's finishing strongly. It is Morgan, Nield, then Taverner. 27.68 for Morgan. And that is a British age group record for 16-year-olds. Another British record set at these championships by Max Morgan, 27.68. He is certainly delivering in July, just as we hope these swimmers are learning as part of their development. Max Morgan, 27, 6, 8, 16 years of age. Here comes heat 9. At the bottom of your screen here, Jose Rodriguez of Millfield is in the 15 years category. He's our fastest 15-year-old ranked swimmer. And we look as well at Joshua Inglis, 3 lanes from the top in the 17 years category. But in the 18s and over, in the middle, Rory Dixon in lane 4, out in front, being chased by Rowan Smith in 6 and by Gordon Lee in 5. It's Dixon, Smith, then Lee, 27.98, the winning time, then 28.3, 28.7. Rodriguez, 29.8. And we had Joshua Inglis, the 17-year-old, in there swimming 29.1. Inglis will be in the 17 years final, and I would think under 29 seconds we'll get those top 3 into the 18s and over final. Final heat then, heat 10. Alex Meyer is the fastest qualifier, fastest ranked swimmer in lane 4. So Meyer in 4. In the yellow cap, 4 lanes from the bottom, is Filip Nowaski. He's in the 17 years category, though he hasn't turned 17 yet, so he could actually challenge for a 16-year-old British record. And out in front, it's Alex Meyer, then Rafe Dobson, Nowaski going with him. Also going well in lane 6 here, Charlie Joe Hallett. Everyone pushing for places in their finals, and it's going to be Meyer first, Dobson second, Nowaski in third. We had a tie for 4th place. 5 swimmers swimming under 29 seconds in that heat. Meyer with 28.35, Dobson 28.6. Those first 5 swimmers, I think, all qualifying for their finals. The final session, I'll remind you, starts at 5 p.m. tonight. I hope you can join us for that. So that completes the heats for the men's 50 metres breaststroke. And our next event, it's the final event of this session, is the women's 200 metres IM individual medley. Just in case you haven't seen this before, it is 1 length of butterfly, 1 of backstroke, 1 of breaststroke and 1 of freestyle. And there are our swimmers. I'll introduce them to you once we get underway. So these 3 swimmers all swimming in the 13-14 category. Furthest from us in the white cap is Amy Fielding for Camden Swiss Cottage. Then in the yellow cap in the middle lane, City of Leeds, Molly Norton. And closest to us in the orange cap, Camden Swiss Cottages, Basildon Phoenix's Lois Smith. So it's Lois Smith out in front. And as you'll see, swimmers have their own strengths. So Lois Smith out in front on the butterfly leg, but we do see swimmers overhaul those advantages. Somebody might be a particularly good backstroke or breaststroke swimmer, and that brings them back into contention. And I think we're seeing that here, because Amy Fielding in the white cap is closing Amy Fielding's lead, and those two look like they could be pretty close at the turn from backstroke into breaststroke. The swimmers must touch the wall with their hand first. There are different ways of turning, but you must touch with your hand when you change stroke in the individual medley. And what a great turn that was for Amy Fielding. Virtually turning with Lois Smith, but coming away with a body length lead. So it's Amy Fielding from Lois Smith and then Molly Norton. Fielding covering a lot of ground, pulling back a lot of water with each stroke. And Noah Smith, I would say, fighting back, and Molly Norton is also swimming pretty well on this breaststroke leg. These three swimmers will be aiming to get under 2 minutes and 30 seconds at the end of this, their final length of freestyle. So fielding under 2:30's got to be the target here, I would say. 25 metres to go, half the length of the pool, and it's going to be pretty close. Can she go under 2 minutes 30? Looks like she might be just about on for that. 2:29.6, well swum Amy Fielding. That's a PB by over a second. Just outside PBs for Norton and Smith. But Amy Fielding with a 1 second PB there. 2:29.67. And PBs have to be the target for anybody coming to these championships. On to heat 2. And we're using 8 lanes in this heat. From the top of your screen, Elizabeth Adam from Leyland Barracudas, then Alice Harper from City of Glasgow, Heidi Corbett for Guildford City in 6. In the middle lanes, Lily Stansfield from Harrogate District and Amelia Fenner from Basildon and Phoenix. Then in 3, Rose O'Brien for Fareham Nomads. In 2, Maisie Fisher for Millfield, and in lane 1, Holly Gents for City of Leicester, swimmer nearest to us. Maisie Fisher's the fastest on the butterfly leg, followed then by Amelia Fenner. 30.4 for the butterfly for Fisher, and looking good on the backstroke as well. And Rose O'Brien in lane 3 looks like she's the strongest backstroke swimmer in this heat. So O'Brien, I think, will touch first as we go from backstroke to breaststroke. It's O'Brien from Fisher, then in lane 6, Heidi Corbett, 5 Lily Stansfield, 4 Amelia Fenner. That looks like the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 at the turn. And there you go, you see different types of turn. O'Brien and Fisher both used a tumble turn, but they had to touch the wall with their hand before they tumbled. And then the 3 swimmers in 3rd, 4th and 5th places, they touched the wall with their hand and span around. These are all the skills the swimmers practice in training over the year. And when it comes off, it can be worth the fractions of a second that make all of the difference in a race like this. Okay, so out in front at the moment, we still have Rose O'Brien, but our strongest breaststroke swimmer here is Lily Stansfield, getting right back into this. And Lily's already swum the 100 metres breaststroke in this session. O'Brien touching first, followed by Stansfield. And who's got the strongest freestyle leg then to finish this off? O'Brien in 3, from Stansfield in 5 and Fisher in 2. Two minutes and 28 seconds, something like that would be the target time for the swimmers in this heat. We're going to be close to that for O'Brien. 2:28, I said. That's going to be 2:27.85. Good time for Rose O'Brien. Lily Stansfield, 2:29.39, just outside her PB. But Rose O'Brien, that is a PB, almost 2 seconds off her previous best. Confirming then that in first place in the 13s, 14s category, Rose O'Brien, all of these swimmers in that category, then Lily Stansfield and Heidi Corbett. That's the 1, 2, 3. On to heat number 3. And the swimmers here in lane 9, Rosie Grosvenor for City of Birmingham, furthest from us in the white cap. In 8, Olivia Quiller from Maidstone. In 7, Isabella Tanasulas from Camden Swiss Cottage. Out in front at the moment, Janie Finch, the strong butterfly swimmer for City of Leicester. In the golden lanes in the middle, we have Joni Dunn, City of Liverpool, and Gwenllian Evans for City of Cardiff. But look at the lead opened up here in lane 6 by Janie Finch, 29.7. That's a sign that she's a very strong backstroker. Second at the turn was Elizabeth Warner in lane 0, and Erin Perman has had a really good turn there from fly to back. In lane 3, I haven't introduced you yet to Maya Uasa of City of Leeds. In 2, Jessica Hill of Tiverton, and the 2 nearest to us, Erin Perman currently in 2nd place, and Elizabeth Warner of City of Leeds. Janie Finch holding on to her lead by some distance here, going for that tumble turn in 66.4. Then it's Perman and Tanasulas. Now, the fastest swimmer in the 13s-14 category in this heat is likely to qualify for the final, I would say. So keep that in mind. I think anybody swimming under 2 minutes 28 in this heat is going very well. And look at this, 3 from the bottom. Jessica Hill of Tiverton in the blue cap. She's swimming faster than anybody on this breaststroke leg. We've got Erin Perman going well in lane 1. And it's going to be Perman first to turn, followed by Finch. And then Perman, Hill, then Finch. Well, Hill and Finch actually joint second, turning in the same time. Perman then in first. As we go through the last 50 metres, I think you want to be swimming under 2 minutes 28 in this heat. Erin Perman, if she can get under 2:28, I think we'll get into the final for the 13s, 14s category here. And Jessica Hill might have an outside chance. 2:25.9 and 2:27.5. Well, that might be good enough for those two, Perman and Hill, to get into the 13s and 14s final. Janie Finch, 2:28.5. That's going to be borderline. But I think Perman and Hill in the final. Janie Finch will have to wait and see. It all depends on the remaining swimmers in the 13-14 category. We've got 3 of them coming up in the next heat. That is heat 4. Maya Uasa disqualified in that heat. It doesn't change our first 3 though. Perman, followed by Hill, and then Finch. This is heat 4. We've got 3 swimmers in this heat from the 13s, 14s category. The swimmers in this heat from the top of the screen: Kyla Wimble of Guildford City, then Elizabeth Land of Newcastle Swim Team, Lily Mundell, Heart of Midlothian, Madison Wren, City of Liverpool. In the golden lanes, it's Grace Robinson, St Felix, and Chloe Grosvenor of City of Birmingham. Evie Mackey in the blue cap looks like she's out in front at the moment. Lane 2 is vacant. Then we've got Chloe Barnard of Basildon and Phoenix, and Lily Green of Plymouth Leander. Mackey first to turn, 30.2. Then Wrens, Land and Robinson. Mackey looking good. And she is in the 15-year category. The 3 14-year-old swimmers here are 3 from the top: Lily Mundell, Chloe Grosvenor in lane 4, and in the bottom lane, Lily Green. I'd say Lily Green of those 3 at the moment is out in front. Mackey's going to turn first, but she's being pushed now by Grace Robinson and by Elizabeth Land. Mackey, Robinson and Land half a second apart at that turn. Into breaststroke. Mackey with a long, powerful sweeping stroke, and look at the bottom of the screen here. Chloe Barnard in lane 1, moving up She will be challenging at this rate. Barnard will turn in first from breaststroke into freestyle. Barnard's in the 15-year category, so too Mackie. That's our first two swimmers. Lots of 15-year-olds still to swim. It's Mackie, and then in lane 0, Lily Green has come right through. Mackie, Green, Grosvenor, Barnard, the 1, 2, 3, 4 as we turn into front crawl. Mackie going to her feet, and so too Lily Green nearest to us. And they look like finishing first and second in this heat. Evie Mackie in the blue cap, nearest to us Lily Green in the silver. In lane 5, Grace Robinson's going well now as well. Looking good for third place, holding off Barnard 2 lanes from the bottom. It's Mackie first, then Green, followed by Robinson. 2:24, the winning time there for Evie Mackie. That's just outside her personal best. Lily Green in 2:26.37, that's a PB. And in third place, Grace Robinson, 2:26.65, also a PB. Lily Green will be in the 13-14 final there with that, and I think Chloe Grosvenor probably qualifying for the 13-14 final as well. This is heat number 5. The swimmers in this heat from the top are Mai Rogers of Warrender Baths. Then in lane 8, Iris Hurst of Warrington Warriors. In 7, Bonnie Mooney, City of Birmingham. 6, Charlotte Cope, Guildford City. 5, Sophie Davis of Millfield. 4, Lily Freeman, Northampton. And then the 4 lanes closest to us, Christina Schultz of Mount Kelly. Grace McDonald of Grantham. Jasmine Hall, Basildon and Phoenix. And in lane 0, Lily Davis of City of Peterborough. Lily Freeman turns first. 29.88 ahead of Christina Schultz. And we have a couple of 13-14-year-old swimmers in this. Jasmine Hall, 2 lanes from the bottom, turning third there. She's one of the 13-14 swimmers. Also Iris Hurst, 2 lanes from the top. And the way they are going, I think they will both comfortably qualify for the 13s-14s final, the way things are going in this heat. The swimmers in this heat capable of swimming 2:27 or better. Freeman and McDonald turning pretty much together. That's Lily Freeman in 4 and Grace McDonald in 2. Freeman looks like she's got the slightly better breaststroke, but McDonald is not far behind. And in third place, I would say at the moment in lane 5, Sophie Davis of Millfield. There's a strong breaststroke in lane 6 from Charlotte Cope. And also in lane 0, Lily Davis. As we turn from breaststroke to freestyle, Lily Freeman will be first. No, maybe not. Charlotte Cope with that long gliding stroke has come through. But a better turn in lane 4 from Lily Freeman. She was behind at the turn, but she comes out in first place. It's Freeman in 4, followed by Cope in 6, and then Davis in 5. I think the way things are going, Davis is going to come through and take second. And Lily Davis in lane 0, nearest to us, going well. Also in lane 3, Christina Schultz is coming through. But it's Freeman, followed by Sophie Davis. And then Schultz got third, Lily Davis 4th, Charlotte Cope 5th. 2 minutes 23.2 for Lily Freeman. That looks like a PB to me. Sophie Davis 2:25.3. That's right on her PB, I would say. Christina Schultz, well, she has been down at 2:22 level. She got a 2:26 there. We don't have the result completely confirmed. There could be a discussion about a disqualification. I think the most likely problem in those events is the turn. Sophie Davis is disqualified. So our first three are Lily Freeman, Christina Schultz and Lily Davis. Backstroke to breaststroke turns tend to be the most risky spot in those 200 IMs. Heat 6, here we go. In this heat, furthest from the screen is Matilda Ashcroft of City of Leeds. Then it's Hazel Ann Carter for Wickham District. Tegan Matthews for Guildford City. And in lane 6, Ava Wilson of Mount Kelly. In lane 5, Chloe Ridge, Wigan Best. And then in lane 4, Petra Varga of Wirral Metro. Chloe Cook of City of Sheffield in 3. Out in front here, Asta Maddox of Millfield turning first in lane 2. In lane 1 it's Constance Logan of Mount Kelly, and in lane 0 Emmy Aitken of University of Aberdeen Performance. So Maddox turning first, followed by Cook, that was lanes 2 and 3. And now coming through in lane 4, Petra Varga for Wirral Metro, and she's going to turn first, I would say, backstroke to breaststroke. Although Emmy Aitken is swimming pretty well in lane 0 on this backstroke leg, and so too Constance Logan, 2 lanes from the bottom for Mount Kelly. First to turn, Petra Varga, 66.4, then Maddox in 2 and Carter in 8. Varga out in front. As the swimmers just disappear from that picture for a second. Then it's Carter, and Carter on breaststroke looks like she might be able to pull away from the rest of the field. Can she catch Varga on this breaststroke leg and set up a big finish to this heat? Varga and Carter are both in the 16-year category. Varga turning first, followed by Hazel Ann Carter, and then Chloe Cook. So it's Varga, followed by Carter and Cook. Carter's going well enough here to think that she could challenge for first place. Both swimming for a place in the 16-year-old final here, the first two. And Emmy Aitken in lane 0. Well, she looks like she'll be getting in the 15 years final, the way she's going nearest to us. First to the wall then Varga, followed by Carter and then Cook, and Aitken in 4th place in 2:25.36 will be in the 15 years final with that performance. .225.3 I should think will be in the 15 years final. Well, there are a lot of 15-year-olds still to swim, but I'd be surprised if that isn't quick enough. I could be proved wrong. Varga in 2:23 then, the winning time. This is heat number 7. Heat 7 then, and it's Sophie Trail of Stockport Metro in lane 9, Sophie King of Swindon Dolphin in 8, Millie Thelful, City of Leeds in 7, Evie Cutter, Wigan Best in 6. And it's Alice Forrest in 5 for Northumberland and Durham Performance, Olivia Robbins, City of Birmingham in 4. In lane 3, in this heat, we have Evie O'Halloran Hutchinson, Northumberland and Durham Performance. Lane 2 vacant, then it's Tegan Black of East Lothian Swim Team and Annabelle Crease of Repton Swimming. Sophie Trail at the top of the picture, by far the quickest over the butterfly leg onto backstroke. Looking good on the backstroke leg, 2 lanes from the bottom, Tegan Black, and also 4 lanes from the top, Evie Cutter. And right at the bottom, Annabelle Crease for Repton, coming through on the backstroke leg. But I would think Trail will hold on to turn first into breaststroke. Everybody looking for a good turn here. Trail, then crease, then Threlfall. And I think there were a couple of good turns there in lane 6 and 7 from Evie Cutter and Millie Threlfall to bring them right up on the breaststroke leg. Brilliant turns from those two. And now it's Millie Threlfall who's really coming through on the breaststroke to close the gap on Sophie Trail. So it's Trail from Threlfall, and then I would say in third right now is Evie Cutter, probably in lane 6. And Threlfall's going to turn first. Threlfall, Trail, Cutter, then Robbins, O'Halloran, Hutchinson. Threlfall coming out of the turn, looking strong. So Threlfall and then Trail, but in the middle of the pool we've got 4 swimmers going well, and the best of those is Evie Cutter in third place now. And the way Cutter's going, she might close the gap on Trail over the last few metres. I think she will. Cutter looks like she can come from third to second. I don't think she can win this heat, even though she's finishing so strongly. Cutter gets in there in second place, 2:25.1, ahead of Trail. So Threlfall, Cutter, then Trail. Brilliant finish in lane 6. Brilliant freestyle leg from Evie Cutter. 2:24.1, the winning time in the 15 years category. Evie Cutter also 2:25.1, the winning time 2:24.1 from Millie Threlfall. On we go to heat number 8. And in heat 8 we have Niamh Savoury at the top of the screen for Newcastle Swim Team. Then it's Coco Croxford for South Lanarkshire, Martha Sell for City of Bristol, Ruby Wheeler, Basildon and Phoenix. In the central 2 lanes, in the lighter hat, Emma Price of Northumberland and Durham Performance and Izzy Blackhurst of Taunton Dean. Then the 4 lanes closest to us are Kiana Kurtzer of Warren de Bards, Charlotte Thompson Midlothian, Isabel Price City of Birmingham and Grace Greenhuff of City of Birmingham. The fastest swimmers over the fly leg were all on the far side of the pool. Croxford, then Sell and Wheeler. And they are still in those positions here, but coming through now, Izzy Blackhurst in lane 4. Blackhurst moving up into third place. Grace Greenhuff nearest to us as well, coming through into fourth, I would say, right now. It's going to be Martha Sell to turn first, ahead of Coco Croxford into breaststroke. The swimmers are allowed 1 breaststroke arm pull, 1 breaststroke kick and 1 butterfly kick, 1 dolphin kick underwater before their head breaks the surface. And it looks like Croxford is going to overhaul Sell on this breaststroke leg, and Izzy Blackhurst may even go past both of them before we get to the turn. Grace Greenhuff nearest to us is going well too, and in lane 6 Ruby Wheeler is also swimming well on this breaststroke leg. The question is, who's going to turn first? Will it be Sell or Blackhurst, lane 7 or lane 4? I think Blackhurst might just get there as they reach for the turn. 6/100ths of a second apart, there wasn't much in it. Good turn though for Blackhurst into freestyle. She emerges just ahead, and in lane 6 another good turn from Ruby Wheeler. Blackhurst and Wheeler, I would say, have got the momentum, and Wheeler's coming through in the orange cap in lane 6. Ruby Wheeler finishing the strongest here. She's dragging Martha Sell with her, but I don't think anybody's going to catch Ruby Wheeler over this final 50. Into the last 5 we go. It's Wheeler, Sell and Blackhurst, followed by Coco Croxford and Grace Greenhuff. Good swim into the finish there. Ruby Wheeler, 2:23.45. That's a season's best for Ruby. Martha Sell, 2:23.9. That's a PB. She's knocked a second off her previous best. And Izzy Blackhurst, 2:24.3. She's taken a few tenths off her previous best as well. Here comes heat 9. And in heat 9 we have Jasmine and Sky Carter in lanes 9 and 8, both from Basildon and Phoenix. In 7 it's Willow Harrison, City of Sheffield Swim Squad. In 6, which is the vacant lane. 5 is Catherine Williams for Wickham District. In 4, Lara Turner, City of Bristol. In 3, Tia Henley of Leamington Spa. In 2, Abigail Miles, City of Sheffield Swim Squad. In 1, Georgia Gussie, Plymouth Leander. And in 0, Clementine Lovell, Team Ipswich. Sky Carter, the fastest over the butterfly leg, with Jasmine Carter third quickest there, and Lara Turner in the middle lanes in lane 4 in second at the turn. But lane 5, Catherine Williams is really surging through on this backstroke leg. Sky Carter looking really good too from the top. So it's Sky Carter and Catherine Williams who will be first and second as we turn into breaststroke. You need a good turn here. It can make all of the difference. Pretty good from Sky Carter off the wall and from Williams. But look at lane 2, 3 from the bottom. Abigail Miles on the breaststroke coming through into contention. Long stroke, huge kick. And I wouldn't be surprised the way she's going here, Abigail Miles, if she turns first and she overtakes Sky Carter before they reach the wall. Lane 0, Clementine Lovell also going really well on this breaststroke leg. The 2 outstanding breaststrokers here, Miles and Lovell. Miles will turn in the lead. Sky and Jasmine Carter side by side now as they turn, the 2 at the top of the picture. But Miles is out in front. Good swimming here from Abigail Miles. Season's best from her is 2:23. Let's see if she can get close to that. Sky Carter's best in second place at the moment this season, 2:24. Miles is going to finish first, but in lane 1, Georgia Gussie's finishing strong. I think she might get second. It's between Gussie and Carter. Carter just hangs on. Miles, Sky Carter, then Georgia Gussie. So Miles 2:23.1, and that is a season's best for Abigail Miles. Sky Carter 2:23.5, another season's best. Georgia Gussie 2:23.8. That's a season's best as well. On we go to heat 10. And our swimmers here from the top of your picture: Seren Talentire for Northumberland and Durham Performance, Mia Collier for Black Lion, Lacey Roberts for Plymouth Leander, Margarita Stoimanova, Newman, University of East London. Then in the middle lanes, Abby Roscoe, Wirral Metro, and Caris O'Reilly, City of Sheffield. The 4 lanes closest to us. Out in front here, Gracie Owen for Torfin Dolphins. And then it's Lois Child of Harrogate District, Rebecca Reid of Aberdeen, and Morgan Brand for Rugby. Gracie Owen turning in 29.6. I should tell you, at the end of this session, we are going to have a swim-off. 4 swimmers in 2 simultaneous swim-offs, if you like. In the men's 50 metres breaststroke, we have Max Wainwright and Ronnie Hallett competing in the 18s and over. And in the 16 years, we have Aubrey Armada Bennett and Roger Davis swimming. I don't have the exact details of what positions they are swimming for, but we'll give you those details later on. Okay, so Gracie Owen in lane 3, still out in front. But in lane 7, Lacey Roberts going well. Mia Collier in 8 and Seren Talentire as well. All coming through strongly on backstroke. Good turn though from Gracie Owen into breaststroke. And then we look along the pool to see who's coming through. And in lane 5, it's Abby Roscoe who's surging through. She's 5th, I think, at the moment, but she is coming through almost into second. And now up onto Gracie Owen's shoulder. And Gracie Owen won't know she's there yet, but in a second she'll see the wave that is being created out of the corner of her eye. She'll be seeing that now as Caris O'Reilly and Abby Roscoe both come through. O'Reilly's going to turn first, and I think ahead of Roscoe, and then it's Child and Owen. Good turn in lane 5 there from Abby Roscoe to bring her up onto level terms with O'Reilly, and she's coming through here. Abby Roscoe, great turn, and she's holding on to that momentum. So this is Abby Roscoe leading from O'Reilly, and Lois Child's finishing strongly here. O'Reilly and Child battling for second place in this heat. No doubt about the heat winner, that's going to be Abby Roscoe. It's Roscoe, then Child. Owen also getting in ahead of O'Reilly right at the end, just pipping O'Reilly. Abby Roscoe, 2:23.18, a season's best. Lois Child there in second with 2:24.2. She has been quicker than that in the past. Gracie Owen, 2:24.4. She's been quicker than that as well. This is heats 11. 3 to go after this. Now we've got 4 separate age groups in this heat to keep an eye on. I'll introduce you to the athletes first. It's Sarah Kraviec in 9 for East Lothian, then Jodie Dilks of Tiverton, Laura Sharp, Swansea University, Darcy Platts of City of Leicester. The middle 2 lanes, Holly Hopwood for Guildford City in the dark hat out in front. Then in the blue costume in lane 4 is Amelia Oliver. First to turn then is Hopwood. In lane 3 is Innes Gimmon-Beaton for Camden Swiss Cottage. The 3 lanes closest to us, Lydia Cordell for Repton Swimming, Mary Craig, Edinburgh University, and Emily Maxwell, Northumberland and Durham Performance. So Holly Hopwood out in front. Then in second at the moment is Innes Gimmon-Beaton. We have in lane 2, 3 from the bottom, Lydia Cordell in the 13-14 age group. She'll be challenging for a medal. She's definitely going to get in the final with this swim. And at the turn, it's Hopwood just ahead of Gimmon-Beaton. Have a look at the turn. I think Gimmon-Beaton's had a better turn there. Very good. Putting her in the lead. So we've got a 13-14 year swimmer, 3 from the bottom in Lydia Cordell. We've got a 15-year-old swimmer in the top lane, Sarah Kraviec. And she'll make the final, swimming the way she is. We've also got in the bottom lane a 17-year-old swimmer, Emily Maxwell, fighting for a place in the 17s final. And then in 3, 4 and 5, they are all 16-year-old swimmers. They are the 3 leading swimmers here. And I would think Innes Gimmon-Beaton is on course for a place in the final the way she's going. Hopwood and Oliver will have to fight for it. Gimmon-Beaton on course for a place in the final, I would say here. We're looking at times of 2:23 or better, I would say, to get into the final for the 16-year-old swimmers in this 200 metres IM for women. Innes Gimmon-Beaton out in front. In second at the moment is Holly Hopwood. Gimmon-Beaton, can she get under 2:23? Yes, comfortably, 2:26. Well, I tell you what, those 3, Gimmon-Beaton, Hopwood and Oliver, under 2:23, I would think they all qualify for the 16 years final. We've got 7 more 16 years swimmers to come. I would think there's a good chance of seeing all 3 of them swimming again in the session at 5 o'clock. Sarah Kraviec in the 15 final for sure, and Lydia Cordell in the 14s final as well, both swimming in 2 minutes 24. This is heat 12. It's the first of our seeded heats. And our swimmers in this heat from the far side: Sophie Moore of Crawley, Gisela Silano of Guildford City, Ella McDermott, City of Leeds, Amber Rigg from Cockermouth. In 5, Holly Widows for Mount Kelly. In 4, Shola Robinson for City of Sheffield. And the 4 lanes closest to us: in the white cap, Susie McNair of Stirling. Then Holly Marshall in the black cap for Repton Swimming. Matilda Bogle of Team Ipswich in the blue cap. And on the near lane, Louise Bresler, Guildford City. First to the turn there, Holly Widows. I don't have the splits at the moment, so I'll keep you up to date with those. It was Widows first in lane 5, then Shola Robinson turning second in lane 4. So that's Robinson in the red cap and Widows in the white cap. And it's Robinson pulling away here. In third for Team Ipswich at the moment, Matilda Bogle. I would say actually Holly Marshall, now 3 from the bottom, has come up into third place. First to turn there in 63.78 was Shola Robinson. I'm sorry we don't have the splits here. I'll keep you up to date with what I can. Shola Robinson first to turn, then Holly Widows second in 64.5. 65.4 then was Holly Marshall. And Shola Robinson looking good here, swimming away from the rest. As I've mentioned before, in these seeded heats, the swimmer in lane 4 in these last 3 heats is the quickest swimmer. Look at lane 6, that's Amber Rigg of Cockermouth coming through, and looks like she might be in second place or thereabouts when we get to the final turn. No doubt about our leader, Shola Robinson, turning first in 1:43.67, and then in 1:46.9 was Amber Rigg, and 1:47.2 Holly Widows. Robinson swimming away. 2:17 or so I think would be a good time for Robinson. I know we won't have the time on the screen. I'll tell you what the time is when they finish. It's Robinson, followed by Amber Rigg. And then in lane 5, it's Holly Widows. Here comes Robinson. Her winning time here, 2:16.04. Second place in lane 6 is Amber Rigg. That's 2:19.91. Then third, Holly Widows, 2:20.41. Fourth in lane 3 was Susie McNair, 2:21.48. And then fifth in lane 2, Holly Marshall, 2:12.12. In sixth place, Matilda Bogle in lane 1, 2:23.25. Seventh in 2:23.44, Louise Bresler. So those were the leading times in Heat 12. We move on now to Heat 13. And the swimmers in Heat 13 are Hannah Murphy from Royal Tunbridge Wells, Monson, Ollie Wayman from Maxwell, Eloise Rathbone-Jones, City of Cardiff, Matilda Potter, City of Leeds, Holly Robinson for Repton Swimming, Beatrice Varley for Plymouth Leander, Maya Hall, Northumberland and Durham Performance, Emma Allett-File for Guildford City, Anna Farr for Leicester Sharks, and Olivia O'Mahony for Cockermouth. Leading out here, Beatrice Varley in lane 4 for Plymouth Leander. She turns first in 29.79. Second to the turn, furthest from us, was Hannah Murphy in 30.2. And followed by Matilda Potter, also in 30.2 in lane 6. Leading this heat then, Beatrice Varley, followed now in lane 5 by Holly Robinson. And then in lane 6, Matilda Potter. That's the 1, 2, 3. In fourth place at the moment, Eloise Rathbone-Jones, and then Holly Wayman and Hannah Murphy at the turn. Varley turns first, then Robinson, then Potter, Rathbone-Jones, Wayman, Murphy, and then it was Farr, Allett-File, Hall and O'Mahony in that order. Beatrice Varley with a comfortable lead here. Beatrice Varley out in front, followed by Holly Robinson and then Matilda Potter. That's the 1, 2, 3. 2 lanes from the top though. Holly Wayman is going strongly in this breaststroke leg and moving up into fourth place. And also in lane 3, Maya Hall, 4 lanes from the bottom, going well. Varley turns first. We've got the split times back. Then Robinson, Hall and Potter. Varley swimming away. And it's going to be close for second place here. Everything getting very close, but I think Matilda Potter's got the strength and the speed to come through here. It looks like Potter will come through to finish second. Varley then out in front. Potter might even push for first the way she's finishing here. Not quite going to catch Varley in the final five. It's Varley, Potter, third place Robinson, fourth Maya Hall, and fifth Eloise Rathbone-Jones. Olivia O'Mahony and Holly Waymond in the 16 years category. They'll be in the final along with Matilda Potter. We will see that confirmed when we have the results here. There has been a disqualification in that heat. Lane 2, Emma Allett-File was disqualified. But the first three, Varley in 2:19.3, Potter 2:19.9 and Robinson 2:21.4. We are into the final heat now, the 200 IM. Remember, we do have a swim-off to come after this, so stay tuned. Heat 14 then, of the women's 200 metres individual medley. And the swimmers here are Annabelle Cook, City of Sheffield, Beth Hall, Mount Kelly. Then we have Katie Lee, City of Salford, Chloe Bown, Mount Kelly, Amelie Smith, Royal Tunbridge Wells, Monson, Phoebe Cooper, City of Sheffield Swim Squad. Lane 3 is vacant. Lane 2 is Ailsa MacDonald, Edinburgh University, and Lane 1, Kate Cotter, Chelmsford City. I think Chloe Bown might be first to the turn here in Lane 6. Just a tenth of a second behind Phoebe Cooper. Not much to choose between our first three there, Cooper, Bown and Hall. But now it's Cooper swimming away on the backstroke leg, the fastest ranked swimmer in this event. Phoebe Cooper is in the 16 years category, and so too in lane 7 is Katie Lee. That's 3 lanes from the top in the yellow cap for City of Salford. Cooper will turn first, possibly just ahead of Amelie Smith, and then MacDonald. Cooper in 64.3. Theodora Taylor in not swimming in lane 3, but Phoebe Cooper in 4, out in front, swam in the European Junior Championships. Amelie Smith coming up in lane 5, only narrowly missed out on selection for the European Juniors, and she's swimming really well on this breaststroke leg. It's going to be Smith to turn first, and then MacDonald, Ailsa MacDonald in 2. So Amelie Smith out in front, and it's going to be a battle between her and Ailsa MacDonald and also Phoebe Cooper. But Smith's looking good here in the 15s category. Smith will be a real medal challenger then in that category. The favourite for the gold medal, but who's going to get the touch here? Is it Smith in the dark hat or Cooper in the red? It is Smith. 2:17.96. 2:17.96. She's actually recorded that time already once this season. 2:17.96 for Amelie Smith, an equal season's best. I would say she has swum that already this season. Phoebe Cooper in second in 2:18.1, and Ailsa MacDonald 2:19.6. Smith and Cooper will be in the 15s and 16s category, and we've got one more race to come. It's the swim off in the men's 50 metres breaststroke, and you'll see it's 2 separate races really. We're going to use lanes 2, 3, 6 and 7, and I'll explain the situation for you in a second. So the swimmers here are Max Wainwright in lane 2 for Newcastle in Staffordshire, Ronnie Hallett for Plymouth Leander. That's the 18s and overs category. And then Aubrey Armada Bennett and Roger Davis, they are in the 16 years category. So the 18s and overs are closest to us, and then 16s are furthest away from us. And here we go. It's going to be close again in both of these races. So two separate races really going on. Wainwright and Hallett's nearest to us. Goodness me, it's going to be close. Who's going to get the touch? It's Hallett's by 7/100ths, and in the other race, by 100th of a second, Armada Bennett takes it from Roger Davis. So Ronnie Hallett will be first reserve in the category there for 80s and over. And Armada Bennett getting the place in the 16 years category. Incredibly close swimming once again. And that completes this session. We'll be back for a session of men's 800 metres freestyle next. We're taking a break, but join us again for the session of men's 800 metres freestyle. That's coming up next, and then at 5 o'clock come back for the finals of all of the heats that we've seen in this morning's session. It's been great swimming once again. We'll see you later on.